Razzle dazzle. You can't
yeah,
see me.
Hey, good morning, everybody. And We're Toucher and Artie, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel from the Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube every morning. Search 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube and subscribe to keep up to date. Big show today, as there was a watch party in Boston where young Nicholas was at, talking to the people. And since the game was in Dallas, we've enlisted the help of our old friend Adolfo Gonzalez, who went out and got audio for us last night. Old school. Old school style. So how many shows in the history, local shows in the history of radio, have had people at I don't know if this has ever happened. You had someone at a watch party, because then you had to have a watch party, and then someone getting street audio from the actual game. It's very exciting.
Right.
It's very exciting.
Not to mention the throngs of staff members from this show in attendance for the entire Brady ceremony last night. So we were all boots on the ground, just everywhere.
Yeah, the Brady ceremony was something else. Very exciting. And going to be a huge topic of conversation today.
Wall-to-wall coverage of the Brady ceremony.
Look, if you love Tom Brady and you love those Patriot teams, I'm sure it was okay. I don't think that you thought it was awesome. I mean, I'm sure it was okay. They retired his number. They're making a 12-foot bronze statue. 12, 12, 12, 6, 12, 12, 12, 12, 6 rings, 12. I heard that on Felger and Maz yesterday. I had no idea that they had it on 6-12, like idiots.
Very meticulously planned,
yeah,
Fred.
but if it was very meticulously planned, you would know that the Celtics are a very good team and could possibly be in the NBA Finals, and perhaps you would push it back a little bit.
Not their concern.
It's like Sammy Hagar.
Ask Sammy Hagar. Ask Ray Lewis. Numbers are very, very important.
1575. Why didn't you have it on 6/13/12?
6/13/12, Ray Lewis?
Yeah, 2012. His number's 12.
Wasn't he still playing at that point?
Yeah, but you knew. You already knew. His number was 12 back then, dummy. You big dummy.
We're Fred Sanford. We've morphed into Fred Sanford.
Oh.
Red Fox is here.
Oh.
Elizabeth.
Oh. I forget the coach's name.
Bill Belichick?
No, from the Brian Billick. Oh, Mr. Billick, Coach Billick. Oh, you're gonna give me a heart attack. I'm gonna come join you. Numbers. I'm coming to join you. Oh, you big dummy. By the way, a season of Sanford and Son without Fred Sanford.
Is that right?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
And the spinoff Grady, which I'm not making up.
Grady.
Was Red Fox a holdout for one season?
Yeah, that was back when they gave Welcome Back Kotter a year without Gabe Kaplan, and they did the year of Sanford and Son without Fred Sanford.
How did they get around? I remember Welcome Back Kotter, they just had his wife teach the class. So
yeah, it was really bad.
It was really bad.
I think that what they did is
a lot of Rollo.
Yeah, they did. It was his kid. It was his kid and Grady.
Lamont, Grady, and Rollo.
Yeah, that's what it was. Not good.
Okay.
And it didn't do well. But they had a lot of power back then. Was that a Norman Lear show? If it was Norman Lear a lot of swings and misses for all the credit he gets. A lot of swings and misses for that guy. All right, but there you go. Last night, the big story is because the Brady thing was fine. It was fine. How many people did Bertrand say were there?
Oh, I don't know. It looked packed, though.
They set it up like a concert. You had the big stage at one end and the seats behind it. You couldn't.
Yeah, like the back third of the stadium wasn't available, but there was seating on the field, and then all the stands looked like they were.
Did you see when Jay-Z played? Because I didn't. They didn't show it, but then the videos that they have, it's just smoke. Now, was that by design that you weren't supposed to be able to see him?
The first half of the song you heard it, you figured, oh, this sounds like a live version. And then all of a sudden, after about, 90 seconds, he emerges from the smoke?
Okay, I didn't make it to 90 seconds because I was wondering if, he was not even really there.
No, he was there. It's just weird. The whole thing was weird.
Because Jay-Z's playing, and it's a big deal. Jay-Z's a big star, but no one because they didn't show it on the Patriots thing, so it's not professionally produced, but someone put it on their phone, and it's like a good phone recording of it. But it's people milling about talking to one another while it's sunny out and Jay-Z's performing.
Oh.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's sort of odd that this is happening.
Look at
there's a lot of people there.
There's a lot of people there. And I got to say the Patriots.com thing, because I mirrored it onto my TV for a while off my phone. And then, I can go. There's a web browser on my TV, and I messed around with that. The shots and the coverage and all that stuff, it's they could do stuff like that all the time. They do a lot of stuff. So as it was a pain to not have it on a TV station that you could just turn on and watch.
Did Mike Dussault have any speaking parts at all?
I don't know. I wasn't watching all the red carpet.
No, I watched a little
everything.
bit. The reason I ask is he was standing next to Fitzy, and Fitzy just kept talking, and Mike was ready to jump in, and Dussault, from what I saw, the little I saw, didn't say anything.
Lockhart just said that he had a
He did have a good part. Okay, I was worried that Fitzy would dominate him a little bit.
I will tell you this, is that he's put, Hardy was employed by Patriots.com, so he's got a lot of friends over there.
Well, I do, but I also thought they did a nice job of the production last night. It did not seem like, in no way was it some kind of a low-rent, half-assed effort by, someone.
I would imagine it's Kraft Productions.
It's Kraft Sports Productions. So the actual, if you were watching it online, then you probably were impressed, I would think, as long as you could make it through Belichick's golf story, which went on for 11 minutes. If you get me to tap out of a golf story, that's a bad golf story.
Yeah, that was the big complaint that Hardy had today. Is it was not a good golf story.
It was a poor golf story.
Take that.
So the wind's blowing. It was like
standing on that wall and worried he might hurt himself.
You could just hear him losing the crowd.
Okay, if you have $1 million and they're like, you're having this corporate event, because by the way, Hewlett Packard, for all the anti-establishment hippies, Hewlett Packard rented out the Sphere to have a corporate function with the Grateful Dead.
Oh, sweet. All right.
Keeping those values alive, you idiots, you morons.
Felger's going to Vegas.
Of course he is, because that's who goes. Rich country club guys go to see the Dead. That's exactly what it is. It's perfect for them. And it's Dead and Company, right?
Nantucket will be empty.
By the way, I know that.
I don't know what
if
it
it's
is
Dead
anymore,
and Company and John Mayer's in it. I know. I hung out with John Mayer for years, and I know him better than you stupid hippies do. You morons. Go take it. Just pee away your money. Oh, the whores there must be just in heaven. Because a bunch of guys that can't get it up. Free money.
Whew. There's
Free money.
erectile dysfunction among the Dead and Company fan base?
They won't go into Northeast Men's Health. Get it taken care of. I mean, but you know what I'm saying. There's a bunch of coked up guys from 50-year-old guys that haven't done coke in a while. They got their eyes are bigger than their loins.
Felger did say yesterday, it was very funny because Murray was goofing on him for going to this thing. And his whole thing was like the T-shirt. They wanted to do the 6-12-24 thing. They wanted to market it. They wanted to have it be this thing, and they wanted to sell the T-shirts. And it was Felger's insistence on the fact that he has never bought a T-shirt to any event. He won't buy T-shirts. He's gone to all these Dead shows and won't buy T-shirts. And Murray said, what do you spend your money on? He's like, stupid grilled cheese sandwiches. He's in on the joke. Yeah. He knows it's ridiculous.
He does acid, right?
Felger?
Yeah.
I don't think he does anymore.
No, but if he went to Dead shows, he had to be doing acid.
It's required.
Yeah, because there's no other way to really.
Yeah.
Because every story about the Grateful Dead shows is always some trip. The Comedy Central did a kind of funny show, Tales from the Trip, where it was guys talking about smoking DMT and this, that, and the third. And then they did one, it was hosted by Ari Shaffir, where it was guys that Artie Lang, and Joe Rogan has one that's not very good, but they go up and they tell a 15-minute story about getting really, really wasted. And every Grateful Dead story is just some terrible trip. Like they got triple dosed or something and ended up or one is the guy took the acid and started doing nitrous and then he inhaled a piece of fabric and he thought it was stuck in his lung and he was walking around. Yeah.
What was your $1 million question though? You were
sorry. If you had $1 million, would you hire your favorite band to play the event, or would you pay Bill Belichick to do a half an hour of stand-up? Where he had to try. He couldn't. He had to try.
A trick question.
30 minutes is a long time.
It's an eternity.
But it's a long time to impose your favorite band on a bunch of people that may not care anything about that band.
But you could see your favorite band anyway. So $1 million, you'd be getting Belichick. He had to try. And he could even get a comedian to punch up stuff. But he had to go out there and perform the material.
I'd go with Belichick.
I would give anything. It would be unworldly bad. It'd be like Sheldon from the Big Bang. Like someone with literally and everyone who's he's really funny behind the scenes. No, I don't think that's true at all. I think that he's a total dick.
I've been hearing that song for years, and we've gotten enough glimpses of him over post Patriots now. Yeah, I think some of that natural wit would have come through by now. And it's not a lot.
Yeah, his brand of comedy is a little prop with the Army-Navy game where he put the put the Navy helmet on. He's like, hey, look, it's a funny helmet.
Yeah, he's more Carrot Top than he is Bill Hicks.
It's Norm Macdonald doing...
Drags the footlocker onto the stage before he gets started.
Excuse me. Yeah.
If Norm Macdonald did a bit of Bill Belichick being a prop comic, that's what it is.
Well, it's him doing Burt Reynolds. Look, it's a hat. It's a big hat. Look, I have a funny helmet on. Look, I have a funny helmet on. It's funny. Navy.
Yeah.
It's an old helmet. Look, and it's on my head. Weird.
I'm not playing.
Look,
and even if I did play, I wouldn't wear this helmet.
And only helmets, and not even pads. I mean, this is bananas. I could have put a jersey on everything. Anyhow, we're having a lot of fun. Yeah. All right. Very good. We will talk heavily about the Celtics. I apologize.
Yes.
We're not gotten that to that yet. Remember, young Nicholas out at the big fan fest last night, the viewing party, and Adolfo Gonzalez from Dallas coming up at 8 o'clock. Mike Gorman at 8:20. So much going on today. We will be right back.
Toucher and Hardy. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Kendra and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Did you catch the game last night?
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're Toucher and Hardy. And Hardy, big game last night in Dallas.
Indeed, Fred, as the Celtics took their 2-0 series lead into Dallas last night. Game that many people, now you listen to a lot of conversation, you read a lot of analysis, you hear a lot of other people talking about it. What would you say was the prevailing theory and the most common prediction about last night?
I know for a fact what it was, at least in Vegas, is that from what I heard, the Mavericks were a favorite. A lot of sharp money early was on the Mavericks, as a lot of sharp money is, by the way, for Game 4 on the Mavericks. And the Mavericks are a 1-point favorite right now. I guess Vegas made a lot of money, according to Ben Mahler, who I listened to a little bit on the way in, is that the sharp money, and now I don't know if Liv Schatz is somewhere, tearing a phone book in half because I'm wrong. But according to Ben Mahler, a lot of early sharp money on Dallas last game and this coming game. Go ahead.
All right, so, and it certainly looked that way as the Mavs got out to an early lead. Luka Doncic hit an early three. Kyrie Irving had it going early, and then the play that just Celtics fans didn't want to see.
Mavericks by 10 on the ball. Luka lobs it down low, lively catches, at the rim, scoring the foul. As soon as Xavier Tillman stepped on the floor for the first time, Dallas goes right at him, and it's going to be an and one.
Role players play better together when you think about what they're able to do.
That alley-oop made it 22-9 Dallas. Of course, still very early on, but when you see a play like that, Wallach, you think that's the play you can't allow them to get, and they got it, and you thought maybe everybody was right on this one, at least early on.
They looked out of sorts at the beginning. They looked like they weren't ready. Al Horford, by the way, on an opening tip, standing flat-footed while Gafford won the tip. It's just a very, very slow start.
You're paying attention to the opening tip. That's impressive.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, John was on it early on Twitter. He was saying, he's like, this
Game's
team
over.
sucks.
No, yeah, that's what I said. Game's over.
He said, this stinks.
Yep.
Celtics, though, this was a game of, runs back and forth. Celtics made one in the last quarter of the first quarter that culminated with
Rebound. Celtics going to get this one, Derek White. And they've got 5 seconds to go. Derek White lobs it ahead. Tatum is waiting. He's all alone, and he slams it home with two hands.
Wow, what a recovery then by the Celtics.
And at the end of one quarter, they look up, and their big, giant lead is a single point.
That's right, 31-30 at the end of the first, and I think we all knew that we were going to have a ball game last night. And it was. I mean, for some of the games that we've been watching in this postseason that were less than, this one was, I just felt like had everything. What a game. What a game. The back and forth, the big shots from everybody in the first half. It seemed like everybody was getting a chance to kind of take over for a moment, whether it was Luka or Kyrie or Tatum. Everyone seemed like they were going to assert themselves at different moments in that first half.
Yeah, and what you saw is that Jason Kidd was putting in Tim Hardaway Jr., I guess, to try to generate some offense, which he did not do, and the Celtics just went, if he's on the floor, we have two huge defensive liabilities on the floor in Doncic and Hardaway, and we're going to attack Hardaway on every occasion. And shame on Jason Kidd. I know Doncic fouled out. We haven't gotten there yet. But the idea that Hardaway, who was over from the field last night, was a minus 16, which is not easy.
That's the thing. For wing players, which the Celtics have a bunch of, Dallas really doesn't have a lot of good ones. P.J. Washington, who's pretty much the third scoring option on this team, if he is not scoring well, and you saw him score well in the previous two rounds, Dallas really struggles to generate offense from anyone other than their big two guys. But we were talking about this yesterday. Dallas has to walk a specific path to get a win in the first half. Like you were saying, Hardy, Luka was on, Kyrie was on, and they were with the Celtics step for step.
Celtics are just so good defensively, and the Mavericks are so bad defensively.
Yeah.
It's really something else.
Luka specifically is so bad defensively.
He is, we'll again get into it, but he is just such a liability and such a baby He's really annoying and out of shape and slow.
I warned you about the complaining. He has done that ever since he's entered the league, and he's ratcheted it up the better he's escalated into the pantheon of high players in this league. People who complain about Tatum complaining haven't watched enough Luka Doncic.
Yeah, well,
he's
that's
Tatum
obvious.
times 5.
When we all have Windhorse audio, he went off on SportsCenter about Luka, but apparently the Mavericks have implored him, begged him, stop this nonsense, and he is not. And we'll get to that, but go ahead.
All right, so Celtics come out after the game. Jaylen Brown was talking about Sam Hauser's big third quarter, I should say, and this is the time when the Celtics decide, all right, we are actually the better team here for all the reasons that you just mentioned. We're playing better defense. We have more players. Let's go ahead and build a lead, and that they did.
Everybody picked them to win game 2, and they lost. Everybody picked them again to win game 3 tonight.
I hate you. I hate him.
Why do you bait him like that? God.
Just why is that necessary? It's just so not necessary. It's just garbage.
Well, that's how we started today. Everybody was picking Dallas last night.
Not in game 2.
Game 2. I don't agree with that.
I don't understand what he's saying.
Everybody picked them to win game 2, and they lost. Everybody picked them again to win game 3 tonight. Derek White swings right side. 3 in the air is good. And the Boston Celtics lead by 21. Jason Kidd calls timeout to say what? Jason Kidd speculated the other day on who the Celtics' best player was. Spoiler alert. It doesn't matter.
Oh. And
I have no idea what's going on in that man's brain. Who is he fighting against? You're not supposed to do that, are you, John, if you're doing play-by-play?
I think the moment is he's in the moment, Fred.
John,
is.
no, he's not, because the moment has been all year. What's going on with this guy? He's creating these false narratives, and the people that are listening to him, maybe he's doing it specifically for people that aren't listening to the game, when he knows they're going to grab highlights. That's what it sounds like. Because anyone who's listening to him live is a Celtics fan and knows that's horse crap, or a basketball fan. Celtics are wildly favored in this series. Their record is insane. They're 70 and what?
76 and 20.
76 and 20. What is he talking about? I mean, there's nitpicking, and who's been the Celtics' best player? Ask any basketball expert. Jaylen Brown's going to win MVP if they sweep. There's just not a way he won't. So Jaylen Brown is the MVP if they sweep. It would take Jaylen Brown breaking his leg and Tatum going for 50 for him not to win the MVP. So go screw. That's actually a conversation. If you want to have an ancillary conversation because they've rolled through the playoffs because they're so good, the conversation is MVP. And the MVP of the finals is Jaylen Brown. And I bet you Jaylen Brown wins it by a decisive margin. That it's not even a question. All right.
Well, with the Celtics up 21 in the fourth quarter, that game wasn't a conversation. Celtics would go on to win easily. Oh, wait, that didn't happen at all.
Lively comes out, sets the high screen. Kyrie, right-hand dribble, pulls up, elbow jumper, got it. 93-92. The 21-point Boston lead is down to 1.
You said that they couldn't lose. You said that they couldn't lose. That's what Cedric should have said. When they said
you
Dallas
lied to me.
Yeah, when they were up 21, you said that they called a timeout to do nothing. Dum-dum. You were the one who said they couldn't lose. Now what? Stupid. How about that? He drives me crazy.
Really? I wasn't getting that.
It's just such a parlor trick. It's just nonsense. It's lazy. It's just stupid. I don't like it.
That's the one week that's obviously this team has is, and to quote Sean Grandy, they play with their food. And last night they were up 21 points with over 10 minutes to go, and then all of a sudden stopped moving the basketball and stopped doing the things that got them their lead.
So let's talk about that because as we know, the Mavs went on a 22-2 run to make it 93-92. It was a question of turnovers. Yep. I think that was one of the issues. And Dallas started playing a little bit of defense. It's really scary to think what this series would be like if Dallas played that just not a ton, not world-beating defense, just enough to make you uncomfortable.
It was Celtics too, but Dallas started the game playing defense. We all saw that, and then during that run they played defense. Dude, when Tim Hardaway came into that game, that's when that game got out of hand. That's when the Celtics were able to cut that lead, and then when the Celtics had the lead, every time Tim Hardaway was in that game, the Celtics just went, "We're going at you." And every time that Dallas had the ball, this is how good the Celtics are. Every time Dallas had the ball, if you go back and watch the game, I guarantee it, when Tim Hardaway Jr. was on the court, he got the ball during their offensive sets because they just were like forcing the ball to Tim Hardaway Jr.
They need help from wing players, and they don't have the depth to do that. And if you look at defensively, Luka, we'll get to it. Luka's terrible, but you need to cover up for him somehow. And having Hardaway out there does not help. But Jason Kidd doesn't have a lot of options. This goes back to the depth of the two teams and why the Celtics are so much better. But I would push back on the Dallas defense during that run. The Celtics would hold the ball on one side of the floor, and all of a sudden there are 5 or 6 seconds left on the shot clock. There was no ball movement at all. I don't think it had much to do. Well, it had a little bit to do, but mostly it was the Celtics being passive.
There was some standing around, but there were a couple of poke steals that Dallas managed to get underneath.
When Tatum dribbled into traffic.
Yeah, but throughout the game, Tatum was actually making those plays, and he was finding the outlets, and it was just that split second. It's a split second. And look, I'm giving credit to Dallas for that run. I'm giving them credit for just taking what was given to them at certain times, because in the first 2 games of this series, you saw Dallas wouldn't even take what was given to them at times.
I know, but just specific, it goes back to the Celtics are in complete control of this series. If they play well, Dallas has no chance. They didn't play well in that 8-minute span. It wasn't Dallas.
Fair enough. All right, what happened?
Okay, well, what happened was, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's the best player. Is it Tatum? Is it Brown? Is it Drew Holiday? No, it was the guy who hit the 3 before that Grandy was referencing. Started to turn things around for the Celtics late in the fourth.
Derek White, bounce pass for Horford, swings to Holiday in the corner, 11 on the shot clock. Holiday, left-hand dribble drive on Hardaway, gets in deep, kick out, open, White, 3, got it!
Man, to Holiday, beautiful pass.
The Celtics stay calm, they execute, and they lead by 6 with 2:36 to go in Game 3.
Now that analysis I actually agree with, because it was the field goal before that, and then it was the Derek White 3 where you looked at him and say, they've calmed down.
Well, yeah.
Now they've kind of retaken control.
Holiday, Brown, and White saved their ass at the end of that game, which is 3 players of the 5 on the floor, and that's good. I mean, they're a very good team, and they have a lot of guys that can help. In the glaring difference between the two teams is obvious, is that the Celtics can rely on a lot of guys, and Dallas can rely on 2.
It was
and only one and one as a total player. Go ahead.
You have Kyrie and Luka went bananas during this game. They had, I think, 51 of Dallas's first 75 or something like that, and the Celtics were up 15 points.
Yeah.
Offensively,
they were saying that. I'm sorry, because we just started talking at the same time, but they were actually saying that on the TV broadcast. Is that I think Wilbon said it at half. He's like or maybe it was Stephen A. But Kyrie's going off, and they only have a 1-point lead.
That's the thing. I mean, that's what really should show you, okay, the Celtics aren't necessarily playing well right now, but they're kind of idling. Like at the beginning of the game, Dallas went crazy, but the Celtics calmed down and immediately got back into the game. Dallas went nuts to get back into the game. Celtics calmed down in the last 2 minutes and won.
All right, we're going to have to break, and then we'll get to the end of the game because there's a lot to talk about. But, Paul, this is very important. Paul, go ahead.
Hey, Fred.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to handle the soliloquy he's going to echo come the game-winning title game? I mean, he's going to say...
Yeah,
I'm sorry to lose you, but
Sean Grandy's monologue when they win it all.
Yeah, because it's written. I just figured out what I think is bothering me. Is that it seems like a kind of cheap trick, like a hacky kind of thing to go like everyone's against us, and then I'm like, why is he doing it? And I think he's doing it specifically that he thinks of it beforehand, and that he does it specifically because he knows networks are going to grab like little pieces of audio and that they're going to sprinkle it in. So I don't even think it's for the people that are listening to the game, which I think is another thing I don't value. I have a lot of things I'm working through. I'm trying to figure out like why I get a physical feeling when I hear him speak.
Self-reflection is important.
Yeah, well, I think you're doing the right thing, though, Fred. I think you need to look at yourself. It's not granted. What is it about you that you allow yourself to be affected?
I get a feeling like that douche chill feeling like that. Like I get like that anger feeling, and I don't get that very often.
I like him. I think he does a good job.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't. I don't think he's a bad play-by-play guy. I think that his play-by-play is good. Like if you're in the car, you know what's going on in the game.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a bad play-by-play guy. I think you're such an a-hole. Do you? There, superstar, a nice guy. You're such a nice guy. What a nice fella. We're gonna lose him halfway through. He's tired in the U.S. Open's on.
I know.
We're gonna lose him quick.
Know.
What are you wearing today?
Oh, I am wearing the Pinehurst logo.
Look at you,
on a quarter zip.
See that? That's where the tournament is today, Fred.
I got it on the hat too, which generally I don't like to do. I don't like to double up like that, but it's round one of the U.S.
Carefully
Open.
selected for round one.
Yeah, when did you lay that out?
The blue, like I lay out every. I don't care if I'm wearing a 25-year-old hoodie. I lay it out the night before. That's one thing I've learned on this gig. Got to get those clothes ready the night before.
I had no clean T-shirts, so I had to go into a.
Is that why we're collared today?
I had to go into a barrel, a wrinkled, dirty. I had to go into a barrel in my closet of collared shirts.
Uh-oh.
So you're getting a real treat.
Look at you
on YouTube. You got Freddie wearing one of these Proud Boys shirts. These Fred Perry.
Guns are out, baby. Go get them.
Very good. They're not going to take away Fred Perry. They're not taking it away from me.
I didn't know that was the Proud Boy brand of choice.
Yeah, that's McGinnis had everyone wearing the gold Fred Perrys. I'm not letting him take that away. Fred Perry's meant a lot of racial harmony for a long time. All right, we'll be back. We'll finish up what happened in the game last night. So much to talk about today. Nick recaps, Adolfo recaps. Everyone's got recaps.
Sports Hub headlines.
Celtics beat Dallas 106-99 in Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Celtics 1 win away from a title. They are up 3-0. Jason Tatum, 31 points. Jaylen Brown, 30 for the Celtics in the win. They can clinch their record 18th championship Friday night in Game 4. Patriots officially inducted Tom Brady into the team's Hall of Fame last night at Gillette Stadium. His number 12 has officially been retired, and Robert Kraft announced that during the coming season, a 12-foot-tall statue of Brady will be erected in the plaza next to the team's Hall of Fame. And the Red Sox fell into an early 4-0 hole before scrambling back for an 8-6 win over Philadelphia at Fenway Park. They will play the Phillies again tonight. Also, the team has moved up the start time in tomorrow night's home game against the Yankees to 6:30. And a quick golf note, round 1 of the U.S. Open will begin in a little over 5 minutes in North Carolina. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by East Coast Metal Roofing, the official roofing partner of the Boston Celtics. Mention 98.5 to Sports Hub and get 10% off your new roof. Visit eastcoastmetalroofing.com. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 the Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy, brought to you by FanDuel Sports. FanDuel. Going through the Celtics game last night, Hardy, where do we leave off?
Derek White had just hit a big three after the Mavs had closed out that 21-point deficit to make it a 1-point game. But the Celtics calmed down. Derek White hits a three-pointer, makes it 98-92. And then the moment that I think a lot of fans were waiting for.
Derek White, pounded by Hardaway, comes across half court. White pounding it with the right hand, Hardaway on his left shoulder. 12 on the shot clock. Entry's a bad one, but it gets to Tatum. He spins away and dunks over Kyrie Irving.
Oh, man, what a risky play that was.
Ooh, that was on the brink, not unlike this entire game 3.
And that was, like one of those moments where you're like, okay, this is kind of what the matchup a lot of people thought. It was either going to be Tatum versus Doncic. It was going to be Tatum versus Kyrie. But we haven't had a lot of those moments because Tatum has been, the nicest way of saying it, more of a facilitator in the first two games and not a lot of one-on-one matchups where he gets to dunk over Kyrie. But then that happens to make it 194.
He was not good in the fourth quarter. He wasn't the story in the fourth quarter, Tatum. But it doesn't matter. They had three guys that were. And by the way, just pay attention to all these play-by-play calls. Hardaway is mentioned in all of them. Again, I don't know what Jason Kidd's not a good coach, by the way. I just don't think he's a good coach. How Hardaway? I know Luka Doncic fouled out, but Hardaway played 19 minutes last night. He was over from the field, and he was terrible on defense. Go ahead.
He's hamstrung. Kidd is. I would defy anybody to do a better job than Jason Kidd has done with Dallas this season. Honestly. He's hamstrung by a superstar that doesn't play defense. He's hamstrung by Kyrie Irving. He's hamstrung by a lack of depth in his roster. And he's hamstrung by big guys who aren't very good offensively. And here they are. They're in the finals. They're not a good defensive team. Their superstar bitches and moans constantly, leads the league in technical fouls. You have your top two guys, basically ball-dominant players, a roster that's mismatched, and you just beat Minnesota. I mean, I would say Kidd has done a spectacular job given what he's been given.
I just see that the way that the Celtics. I understand why he played Hardaway to see if he could get a little offense.
He's grabbing at straws.
I understand that, John, but but he should have seen immediately. I mean, give credit to Missoula and the Celtics, but they just picked on Hardaway, like offensively and defensively, and Kidd should have seen that and said, "I'll play anyone else. Play Exum." I mean, Exum only played 3 minutes last night. I don't know what's going on with that, but it just seemed like, I mean, I rarely watch a basketball game and go, "Oh my goodness!"
Yeah,
like this, like they're forcing the ball into Hardaway's hands when Dallas is on offense, and they're going after him on every offensive possession when he's on defense.
Exum's even worse. I mean, he had one really loud dunk, but everyone was really shocked that happened.
I don't know. Exum played 3 minutes last night.
He's a cast-off guy that's bounced from team to team that shouldn't be out there.
Yeah, but is he as bad defensively as Hardaway? You tell me.
I don't think he's much better.
All right, fair enough. Go ahead.
Well, you mentioned Jason Kidd and whether or not you trust him in, to coach in a lot of situations, but in the big moments, he called 2 timeouts last night as the Mavericks had battled back and got to within 3 and had all the momentum. And the Celtics couldn't make a shot. And you could see after one of the timeouts he called, as soon as they inbounded the ball, Doncic turns to him. Doncic, who is fat and out of shape and probably was completely gassed, even he turned to the bench and said, "What are you doing? You don't call timeout here. We've got him on the ropes."
Yeah, he
they
does
do
a
it. They
lot.
can't keep their hands up anymore. And he calls timeout when it's 93-90. Like, what are you doing?
Well, Kid's probably like, "Hey, Fatso, like I know that you've been running for 5 minutes now, like so I don't know what to do."
We'd like you to actually be able to run up and down the floor the last 5 minutes of the game. That's why we're calling
I think that he should take Doncic out. I mean, especially, well, we'll get into what the foul trouble, but I mean, just take Doncic out. I mean, Doncic is their best player, but I just sometimes if they're struggling defensively, just take Doncic out, let him rest, let Fatso sit.
In the first half, Fred, I thought of our conversation yesterday. They actually did take the ball out of Doncic's hands at times in the first half. and they let him gather the ball once he got over midcourt to take at least that part of his workload off the table, which I thought was very good. But you got to the second half, and when they were down, it was Luka with the ball constantly taking more punishment, picking up fouls on the defensive end half the time because he was just lazy.
Right, because he's lazy. Well, the first foul he took was ridiculous. I mean, he took a foul early in the first quarter on Brown where he's just slapping around and it's nonsense.
He's like grabbing at him from behind.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I need a rest. We need play to be stopped here so I can catch my breath.
And I need the yell after. Because I'm gonna
he bitches and
I'm
moans.
gonna blatantly foul for no reason.
And when he fouled out, which was obvious, it was a foul and shouldn't have been challenged. There were 2 plays after that Jason Kidd would have challenged had he had one.
Yeah, I know. We'll get. Do you got Doncic fouling out because he yells at the bench? Challenge this effing thing,
and they do because he screams and yells.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get like the fuller version of it because I don't want to play this one. It's just it's not enough. I do have him talking about fouling out after the game.
Yeah, all right. So Doncic falls out with how much left, John? Like 4.5. 4:12 left.
4:12 left.
And obviously, that's a big deal. Doncic, and it was a foul.
It was a foul. It was obvious in real time that it was a foul.
It was another lazy foul. And here is Doncic talking about the foul.
Yes. Here he is after the game talking about the foul. Luka Doncic. Thank you.
We couldn't play physical, so I don't know. I don't want to say nothing, but 6 foul in the NBA Finals. Where basically I'm like this. Come on, man. Better than that.
Well, how can you call 6 fouls on me in the NBA Finals? Well,
when it's obvious like that, Luka pretty much takes it out of the ref's hands.
When you're lazy and you don't play defense properly, you tend to foul the opposing player.
Perhaps you should be more careful with 5 fouls in an NBA Finals game.
And it's not like it was at the rim. You know, it wasn't like he was going up to like contest a shot. Like he's just
25
a big,
feet
fat,
from
lazy
the basket.
He's just a fat, lazy prick. It's infuriating how fat he is. In all his moves are him forearm shivering guys off of him, and then he's got a brilliant shot. But his move, I mean, Jaylen Brown, it reminds me of high school basketball. Like when there's a really good team, an athletic team against a crappy team, and the kid can't get the ball over half court. Like Doncic struggling to get the ball over half court because Missoula sees it. Missoula's like, just wear Fatso out.
Yeah,
he can't move with any quickness.
Let's spend let's have Jaylen. You'll start on him, but we'll rotate guys around, and all of you take turns leaning on him. It's a very good strategy.
I think this is the audio that you're referring to here when Luka fouls out.
Drew Holiday, the push for Jaylen Brown, left hand dribble, bump knocked down, and if it's Luka, he's out.
Yeah, that's true.
The Celtics went right at Luka. He put his body in front of Jaylen Brown, and Luka Doncic is fouled out of Game 3.
Matthew Gallows, are you trying to challenge?
You almost have to because of the calamity.
No, you don't have to, Sean. That's not a good challenge. It's a bad challenge.
But he used the word calamity.
Of Luka fouling out. But I don't know if you're going to win the challenge.
No, you're not going to. The refs were making some curious calls and non-calls down the stretch. Derek White tried to intentionally foul. And it was
grab the guy's arm.
It happened right in front of the official. He was like, "What? I didn't see anything."
Jason Tatum goes up for a dunk, obviously gets fouled, and they don't call it.
He grabbed his arm, and then he points at him and points at me. It's like, you see what I just did there? He got the shot off. I mean, the shot didn't go down, so it didn't matter. Celtics, at any rate, end up taking last night's Game 3, are now poised to sweep in Game 4, which will happen Friday night in Dallas.
All right. Well, it was an exciting game. The Celtics are going to win a championship, and it will be very exciting. Again, the Mavericks are a 1-point favorite. At least they were early this morning. And I guess a lot of early money is on the Mavericks for a gentleman's sweep, that the Mavericks will take at least one at home. I guess you could see the Celtics maybe doing what they did, letting the Dallas back into the game last night.
Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving both did amazing work on the offensive end. They were great for long periods of time last night, and the Celtics were still up 21 in the fourth quarter.
Well,
yes.
that was Dallas bringing everything they had, according to Kyrie Irving in his postgame.
Man, I just really think about going home and just, this is a metaphor here, so just be ready. Just go home, get the ammo ready, get the bazooka, get the 50 cal ready, get everything ready because it's, when we come into game 4, we know that we got to shoot our gun, we got to shoot our shots, and we got to do it with an aggression. And
I would think that would be exactly what you're trying to do last night.
You just did that. It just happened.
What's
and
a
you were
50
down
caliber?
21.
50 cal big gun.
Yeah, because a 44 Magnum is the famous Clint Eastwood gun from Dirty Harry.
Have you ever seen those Instagram reels where they're firing off like a 50 caliber? I think they're mostly on ships. They're big guns, and when they go boom, 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 and there is a ticker of how much the ammo costs. Like every time they shoot one of those 50 caliber rounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like $37. So it's like boom, 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 boom. That's $1,000. Boom, 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 boom.
It's like all your tax money, your federal tax money, like to just
but it's
round
cool.
off. It really is, and with drones and everything, probably pretty necessary. All right,
drones.
I
love drones. You and I should go droning together.
Yeah,
We'll
let's
just
do it
fly
at a
'em
kids'
around.
baseball practice and act like what? Is this a public field?
Oh yeah,
Like when my son would be playing baseball as a little kid, and there would be some loser out there with a drone, like flying it around, and we'd be like, "What's going on?" And he'd be like, "It's a public park."
Yeah, at Millennium Park when there is 900 soccer games going on, and people be up there flying drones. Like, I'm not even going to get into you flying a drone over my little kids playing soccer and
With the
doing
camera
God
on
knows
it.
what with the footage. But let's say you're not an ace aviator. So what are the odds that thing is going to come crashing down on one of these kids, dummy?
Yeah, and
Go take it somewhere else.
And you know why they're doing it? They're not doing it, I don't think, for nefarious reasons. I think they're doing it to get like the wow from the kids. Like they're like, "Huh?
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
Who's
exactly.
flying that thing? I want to go meet that guy."
Nail on the head. That's why they're doing it. They're like, because the only people are going to care are 8-year-olds. So they're like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
And and they get like a big kick out of it, and they look like they're not paying attention, but they want to see the 8-year-olds look up in the sky. That's why they spent the $5,000 on the drone. They want to see that. All right, we'll be back. Windhorst had a lot to say about Luka. When it doesn't involve LeBron, Windhorst has got a lot to say. We will have that for you coming right up. Remember, Nick and Adolfo with recaps last night. Very exciting. In Dallas and in Boston. We will have that for you in just a moment.
More.
Boston Celtics swarm the floor.
WPCFM at HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub. The Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines.
The Celtics are now on the verge of a championship.
Derek White, bounce pass for Horford, swings to Holiday in the corner, 11 on the shot clock. Holiday, left-hand dribble drive on Hardaway, gets in deep, kick out, open, White, three, got it!
Man, to Holiday, beautiful pass.
That's Sean Grandy and Cedric Maxwell here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And after almost letting a 21-point fourth-quarter lead disappear, the Celtics responded in the final 4 minutes for a 106-99 win in Dallas, and more importantly, a 3-0 lead in the NBA Finals. Jason Tatum scored 31 points and Jaylen Brown 30 for the Celtics. Kyrie Irving scored 35 and Luka Doncic 27 for Dallas. But Doncic fouled out with 4:12 to go and his team down 3. The Celtics' 3-0 finals lead is the first one they've had since 1959. They've won 8 straight on the road and 10 straight overall. They can win their 18th championship tomorrow night at the American Airlines Center. Basketball Hall of Famer Jerry West passed away yesterday. He was 86 years old. The Patriots inducted Tom Brady into the team's Hall of Fame last night in Foxborough. Robert Kraft closed the evening by announcing that Brady's number 12 has officially been retired. And during the coming season, a 12-foot-tall statue of Brady will be built in the plaza next to the team's Hall of Fame. The Red Sox beat Philadelphia last night 8-6 at Fenway Park. The two teams play again tonight. And round 1 of the U.S. Open Golf Championship just underway at Pinehurst number 2. Tiger Woods will tee off at 7:29. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Massachusetts Energy Marketers Association, clean, renewable bioheat fuel. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
You want to talk sports? We want to talk sports.
Squeeze the chicken and open the mouth.
It's like we were meant for each other.
This is why you need us.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Jaylen Brown, 13 points.
Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Jaylen Brown, 13 points in the quarter. Switches to the left hand. Jaylen drives right down the middle. Flies over Green. Throws it down with the right hand and puts a signature punctuation.
Combination of the two.
That was all Hardy.
Maestro, please.
The highlight hit the post. Woof. That is something else.
Again with the post, yeah, but okay, yep.
A post.
A post, sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, A post. Our show, Toucher and Hardy, is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. You can watch us on YouTube. Hardy says hi on it.
I haven't logged on yet this morning, but I will right now. Thank you for reminding me, Fred.
We've been very busy, as we will have young Nicholas coming up next out at the big viewing party at TD Garden, and then Adolfo Gonzalez, our old friend, Adolfo Gonzalez, who did street audio at BCN and then all through the first 10 or so years of the Sports Hub. Adolfo went out in Dallas, offered to go out in Dallas. What a good guy. And he still has it.
He sounds good.
He does sound good. He's working. He's doing a bunch of stuff.
Good for him.
Windhorse yesterday. If you watched the Celtics game, you saw Luka Doncic foul out. He is fat and out of shape, and he makes these incredible fouls far away from the basket that are ridiculous. He loses his mind. He gets sweaty right away, and that kind of like caked-on hair sweat that's like the first time you go running in the spring and you haven't run in a long time, and you get that like almost viscous sweat, the oil like comes out of your pores.
The real rosy cheeks that just seem to be indicative of something not entirely healthy going on.
Yeah, it's like you're sweating out a hangover. It's like going into a steam room like after a night in Vegas. Here is he's sweating everything out. Again, I'm fascinated how he can be this fat. He plays basketball every night. He's in a gym constantly. He's just in a gym. Like you know the gym. If you were a pedometer and that would say how many calories you burn, if you're just like screwing around in a gym for like 2 hours, probably burn 600 calories.
With all the calories that basketball players burn, it's almost impossible to put weight on. And you have guys like Doncic and Glenn Big Baby Davis who somehow figure it out. It's amazing.
Yeah. And, I mean, this guy's playing 40 minutes. I mean, in an NBA game. I know he's walking most of it and standing around grabbing.
But you're moving around. I mean, this is not standing still constantly.
And you could say, well, it's obvious and, like, mean, but it's obvious and it's true. I mean, it's something else. I don't watch the Mavericks every day. Sitting down and watching the Mavericks this postseason, because I was into that Minnesota series too.
Yeah.
Because I love Anthony Edwards. But sitting around, I mean, he plays a game like I don't think I've seen from. He plays like Shaq. He sort of plays like Shaq I know he does. Shaq couldn't shoot in Luke. I want to keep wanting to say Lucic. Doncic is a phenomenal shooter. I'm aware of all of this, but that like forearm shiver game, like just getting guys off of him and just, and then the fact that he can't bring the ball up the court because Jaylen Brown's such a superior athlete, like it's really strange to see. He's a unicorn. He's very unique. I will say that. He's the anti-Anthony Edwards. All right, here is our friend. What's the kid's name? Windhorst.
Brian
Windhorst, after the game, talking about Luka Doncic.
Luka fouls out late. I just wonder your reaction to that whole sequence.
I thought it was perfect that Luka fell onto the ground there in an unacceptable position to put himself in with 4 minutes left with 5 fouls, and then immediately looks at the bench and says, you better bleeping challenge it, as if it's the bench's fault that he just made a terrible play. I'm standing here in the Mavericks tunnel. Over there is the Celtics tunnel. That's where the winners are. If Luka's ever going to be a winner coming out of this tunnel here, he is going to have to use what's happened in this finals as a learning experience. His defensive performance is unacceptable. He is a hole on the court. The Celtics are attacking him. They are ahead in this series because they have attacked him defensively. And you've got a situation here where Luka is complaining about the officiating. They have begged him. They have talked with him. They have pleaded with him. He is costing his team because of how he treats the officials. He's a brilliant player. He does so many things well. They are here because of how he did. His performance in this game is unacceptable and the reason why the Mavericks are not going to win. He's got to get over this. And the fact that he came out after the game and blamed the officials showed me he's nowhere close yet. So maybe over the summer, somebody will get to him because nobody with the Mavericks or anybody else in his life has. And that's where the Mavericks are at this point. They're never going to get to this tunnel with the trophy if he doesn't improve those aspects of his game.
Brian Windhorst, I'll leave it right there. I appreciate your time, and hopefully we'll talk again this series. You think we get to a Game 5 Monday or no?
I'm very interested to see what Luka does on Friday. The 18th banner is coming to Boston. The duck boats are getting loaded up at some point. I want to see how Luka reacts because he owes his team a better performance in Game 4.
Listen, Luka's the reason they're here. But when last night, I'm going to repeat it 1,000 times today. I apologize if it gets annoying. But when Tim Hardaway Jr. and Luka are on the court together, the Celtics were not going to lose that game under any circumstances. They were going to do whatever they wanted to do offensively. They just were. There's two guys that can't play defense at an NBA level out there. Luka Doncic, and I mean, it was something else. It is really something else. And the Celtics are the worst team for them to play against because you saw it in the fourth quarter last night. Tatum didn't do anything in the fourth quarter, but White, Brown, and Holiday all did. They just have guys that can score. And so you can just pick on him no matter who he's on. Go ahead.
Yeah, the other part of it is the Celtics are not without defensive liabilities too. You see Hauser
played well on defense last night.
Let me get
Tillman,
to it.
Hardy. Woof, woof, woof.
Let him finish, Fred.
Let me get to it. Hauser and Pritchard are not great defensive players, but unlike Doncic and Hardaway, they fight for it. I mean, you see the effort. They may not be perfect. They may get beat, but you see effort involved. Doncic makes no bones about it. He does not try on the defensive end of the floor. He's beaten constantly, quickly.
The thing with Pritchard is he's just too short. He can't
but
do much about it.
You see the effort. You see
of course, you see him like posting up against Doncic last night. It's
actually won one of those matchups.
He did
down low, and you see Hauser constantly staying in front of the guy in front of him. Dallas is hunting him every time he's on the floor, but it doesn't matter. Hauser will win 3 out of 10 or 4 out of 10, which is a lot better than the other two guys.
He played well last night, but let's not forget Xavier Tillman under the tutelage of one Tom Izzo. No moment too big.
I like that.
Xavier Tillman came in right away. When Tillman comes in, he commits a bad foul, and everyone's freaking out. What's going to happen? And then Tillman settles down and even knocks down a little three rooting for the people. Tillman showing up huge, muscular. And everyone says he's a great guy.
Really?
There's a question for you, Johnny boy.
Yes.
And it's not about birds.
Oh.
Tom, go ahead.
Okay.
A quick question for Wallach. Because you call the games. Do they ever call flopping? Because I don't know how many times Luka fell with nobody touching him. And just step back three and just falls on the ground.
Oh, I think Marcus Smart retired. Marcus Smart retired the award. I don't think they call the flopping anymore.
They really don't.
No, they don't call it flopping anymore. They call it in the NHL embellishment.
They do. And
they do it sometimes when an offensive player is shooting a three and kicks out his leg and falls down. They call that, but the flopping he's talking about, not ever anymore.
What's the word when you have a punishment for a crime? It's supposed to be supposed to stop other people from doing it. What's a deterrent? Right. In the NHL, it's still a deterrent because I don't know if there's a worse penalty to have called on you as an NHL player than the embellishment. And that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In the NBA, it happened a lot, and they're like, "No, I'm still going to keep doing it." It didn't stop anybody really from doing it. There was no deterrent factor, or at least not much of one, because they didn't feel any shame from it. So, yeah, I don't think they call it much anymore.
You know who went to the same high school? Matthew Tkachuk and
Jason Tatum.
Kaboom! In St. Louis. Who else went to that school? A man by name Bradley Beal.
How about that?
Boom shakalaka.
And how about the starting quarterback for University of Missouri?
Okay. Tatum and Tkachuk were friends in high school.
Great job.
Now the two of them can win championships.
Hey!
Play it. You got it? I know you're working hard this morning.
What do you want,
got
the A?
the mic gave it to you? When I do my Mr. Furley.
Oh.
You want to give it to the people of YouTube, the two people watching?
I
don't know what it's called.
Have we used it organically yet?
This is awesome.
We have not used it organically.
This is an awesome.
No, it's gonna be worth it.
Okay.
Is this it?
Wow. I'm glad I waited for that.
Don't tell me what's good, John.
It was worth it.
That's bad. Okay. That's bad form on your part.
Can I give just one bit of praise to Drew Holiday last night after he stepped into the landing area of Kyrie Irving shooting the 3-pointer, as kind of the antithesis of what Luka does, which is, and a lot of players do. It's not just Luka. Lose their minds at any time a foul is called on them, and that was a big foul in that moment. You're going to send Kyrie Irving to the line to shoot three. He's going to make all three. And still, the issue was still in doubt, as an old-timey broadcaster would say. You know what Drew Holiday did after he was called for that? Nothing. Walked away. He's like, yeah, I did that. That's fine. Whatever. I got into his landing area. It's a rarity where a call like that happens in a game and there isn't immediate outrage on the player who was just whistled for the foul.
Yeah. Brad Stevens is a tremendous front office person. Every move he's made has seemed brilliant, and
including Tillman, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, you knew, we discussed this yesterday, how were the Celtics going to survive the Luke Cornett minutes? Well, the solution to that is to not play him, and you're able to not play him in this series because you acquired Xavier Tillman this season.
Yeah, you knew he was going to be seasoned because of Tom Izzo, two greats. And then Mazzulla is now a made man. I mean, Mazzulla coached well. This is a team effort. He's not leaning on one guy. You can't just – this isn't LeBron and his array of coaches outside of Spoelstra. This is a guy who has coached this team. So, he's a big weirdo that Hardy defends to the death because he had dinner with him. But Joe Mazzulla has proven himself to be a good hire. despite his weird ways. And I'm not the only one who says he's weird. Derek White said it last night.
You called him a sicko
Yeah,
after the game.
I mean,
he's probably psyched that Dallas came back. Why? Because he's a sicko.
Yeah, Missoula's a weird dude, man, and he is. He is.
But he's got them. He's got them playing together as a team. He's got them playing defense. And
the moment is not too much for him.
And he's got the timeout thing figured out. I think he's got a much better feel for the flow and the rhythms of the game.
And real quick, part of the reason, I'm not saying Joe Mazzulla hasn't improved as a head coach. He certainly has from one season to the next, but he's got some experience with him on the bench this year. Last year, everybody left him.
Yeah.
He had no brain power. You have Cassell and Charles Lee, who's going to be a head coach of his own in a week. So those two guys, I'm sure, have been very helpful this season.
And then you have Van Gundy coming into the staff next year, which ensures that Missoula will never be considered ugly, ever. There was a picture in the Globe, I told you, of Van Gundy and Brad Stevens at a Wellesley high school basketball game. And I saw Brad Stevens, and I'm like, who is that monster next to him? It was Van Gundy.
Well, also, anyone's going to pale in comparison next to Brad Stevens. He's a bit of a hunk.
He would be the male equivalent of what you would like in a woman. Nice corn-fed mayonnaise kid. No crazy features. Nothing wrong, nothing right. Just a nice plain
And let me
kid.
tell you something. He's the last guy to go showing off.
Yep.
He's not going to do any of that.
No. You know, he listen, he likes the limelight a little bit, but he's not going to rub it in your face.
Well, no, he's not going to, rip the sleeves off his T-shirt and show you his guns. He's not going to do that.
No, but he works out to keep his wife happy and interested. Young Nicholas was out and about last night. He was at the big watch party at the Garden, and then Adolfo Gonzalez. He's going to join us at 8 o'clock. He was out in Dallas, where he now resides, getting audio for us old school style. We will have that for you all coming up in just a moment.
I mean, he's probably so happy that it happened like that, and so he can just continue to tell us that. And but he just stays consistent. He just makes the right calls, and we just trust him completely. So, but yeah, it seemed pretty true today.
Was there a degree in which he was enjoying it?
Yeah, he's a sicko, so probably.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy. Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. Pre-game coverage for the finals begins at 7:30. Game time at 8:30.
For the first time since 1959, the Boston Celtics have a 3-0 lead in the NBA Finals.
Randy and Max bring you all the action. Brought to you by Amiga Insurance. The NBA Finals on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Now, more Tuncher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Hey, everybody. We are Toucher and Hardy. And we have a unprecedented, I don't know if it's ever been done. We had young Nicholas out at the big watch party at the Garden. I don't know how many people were there last night, but and then we had Adolfo Gonzalez out at the. What are you two talking about? It's so distracting.
I was looking at Nick because I thought he was going to come over and tell us how many people were at the Garden.
And then Dan's just talking to you, smile, and it's very confusing.
He wasn't talking to me.
Was he
No,
talking to John?
I might have been mouthing to you. I think I said sold out. I think I got
sold out. Okay.
An email saying the tickets were sold out.
Right.
I don't know how many tickets they sold, but they equated it as a sellout.
I bet it was very, very well attended.
Yeah. And so Nick was out there. Adolfo Gonzalez was in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Our old friend Adolfo. And we'll have that audio and talk to him at 8 o'clock.
It really is like it's like a high-level organization. We got people in multiple locations doing, multiple things. It really is. It's an impressive feat. And it's damn near global.
All right, here is young Nicholas. He is out after the watch party, after the Celtics win last night's game, and here just one step away, one game away from an NBA championship.
All right, what's your name? Chuck. Chuck, can we use this for the radio? Huh? Is it okay to use it?
Yeah, finally he's called out.
Radio. Huh?
Finally, Nick has been called out. Radio. Finally, Nicholas gets what he deserves. What if we legally were challenged and they were like, the guy obviously didn't know he was on the radio because your guy didn't really say, do you want to be on the radio? He just said, rada, rada, radio. And then they had like a linguist come in and use AI to like really figure out what he said using patterns.
Can we use this for the radio? Huh? All right, what's your name? Chuck. Chuck, can we use this for the radio? Huh? Is it okay to use it? All right, describe your shirt. I got the T-Rex. If you know, you know. The Celtics are up 3-0. They're about to sweep the goddamn Mavericks.
T-Rex again?
I'm going to get my fucking T-Rex shirt from Marshall's, and I'm going to rock that motherfucking black tie too, baby. Let's get a fucking dub. Let's get a fucking Celtics parade.
Different guy.
Why
get a fucking dub. We're strapping them up. Get a fucking Celtics parade.
Why is everyone wearing T-Rex shirts?
I just told Lockhart, I said, 10 years ago, any reference that went over my head or I didn't understand, I would immediately investigate so I could then know. There's too much now. I can't. I can't go out of my way and stop whatever I'm doing to figure things out. I'm blissfully unaware. I don't know.
I wonder if it's an anti-masturbating campaign because the T-Rexes had the tiny arms, which might be a stolen joke, but I don't know.
It's pretty good.
It might be a Mulaney joke, but you know how they had those little arms? Yeah. I don't know how they got over.
That's worth stealing.
Yeah.
I suck my you, Kyrie! You, Luka! Suck my nuts!
Everyone with the nuts.
Yeah. At least this guy wants to keep his.
Yeah.
Could
One
be
guy
worse.
said he bled green.
Yeah.
Chop him off.
That's right. He's not going to chop.
Chop off my balls and go nuts.
Everyone with the balls and T-Rex shirts. There's a theme happening. You know, there's less babies being born than ever before. I wonder if there is some kind of wave of chopping off of nuts.
Stop this! I got that form, motherfucker! All right. Go! So talk to me about the game. So, Jason Tatum showed you why he's the goddamn man. Brazilians. That bullshit where he had a improv with the layup. Shut up about Jason Tatum.
I mean, who doesn't hate an improv group? I mean, that point where just how many times can Jason Tatum say "and then" before you throw your hands in the air and say it's enough? We've beat this concept into the ground.
Just kicked him out of the improv asylum in the North End.
Oh, boy. That's a tough nut to crack. I've been trying for years. Get me in. My mime skill's not appreciated.
Yes, and?
Yes, and. That's what I said.
Yes, and.
You hate Jason Tatum? Suck my left, you.
A lot of nuts. Everything nuts.
And that's the goddamn word on the street.
What are your thoughts on Luka? All right, so you think it's going to be over? It's a sweep. Game 4. That's it. We're going to be champions.
Hey, we got 2 words. Xavier Tillman. Xavier Tillman. Xavier Tillman.
Wait, whoa. We have 2 words. What?
Hey, we got 2 words. Xavier Tillman.
I mean, we do.
Wow.
My
Xavier
savior,
Tillman's.
My savior is Tillman's.
Xavier Tillman's.
More than one Xavier Tillman.
Well, listen, Taylor Twellman was a savior to most, but he never meant anything to me.
Hey, we got 2 words. Xavier Tillman. Xavier Tillman. Xavier Tillman.
What was the experience like inside watching the game? But was it cool in there?
It was just like a game. It was amazing.
Except tickets were $18 and not
Game 3 for $18. The Garden did an awesome job. It was awesome. All the Celtics fans wanted to do this for Game 3. We'll see you at Game 4. We're here.
All right.
That's right. Take it home.
All right, that's $18. You know why they're $18, don't you, Wallach?
I do.
See the people hanging in the bar in the evening on a Thursday night.
All right, Will knows the T-Rex reference. Will, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the T-Rex. They used to play it on the jumbotron for the defensive chant. The T-Rex used to stomp around for like defense. It used to stomp around, so I think it's in reference to that.
We are going very deep.
I got the T-Rex. If you know, you know.
All right, well, yeah.
I go deep, Freddie G, always.
Will, you are a man of great knowledge. Thank you for sharing that with us, sir.
You're welcome. Take care.
All right, there you go. The great Will.
You know, the T-Rex can't wear no clothes, so...
I'm going to run the city naked!
That's what the T-Rex does.
He can run naked because he has an undefiled genitalia because of his short arms. Mm-hmm. This is torture. He would have to almost fashion a fifi.
Does a lizard have a hog that hangs down at all? or is it like inside?
Tony P for that hog reveal. Make sure.
If there's like a salamander just dragging it.
Do they have those? Or I
don't know. Find the weirdest stoner.
I'm Googling lizard penis. Hold on.
Find the weirdest stoner that we know and call him and ask him.
Oh, you can buy like freeze-dried liver penises or lizard
sweet.
penises.
All right.
Why? So you can blow weed smoke in their face? Which is the only reason people own these reptiles is to blow weed smoke in their face.
Look at that. That's like a Larry Flint type of photo there.
Whoa.
Oof.
Wait, is it all greased up? What air of hustler is
Chop off my balls and go nuts!
Hey, I like this kid. There's an opening on the editorial board. All right, so here we go. More of young Nicholas out and about talking to people. It sounds like it was a very fun time out at the big event.
All right, man. First off, what's your name? My name is Meech Marshall. I'm coming from Brockton. Feel me, Southside, baby. Born and raised. Big Brockton.
Is it okay to use this for the radio?
Yeah, you can use this for the radio on Dogs.
All right.
Have you ever been to Brockton?
Sure.
They're having a big no effects show over there.
Oh, nice.
Not supposed to be the greatest.
Been to Brockton a lot.
Why?
Golf courses. There's a couple of shopping areas there. There's a good Lowe's in Brockton that I go to.
You priced out the Lowe's around the area?
Sometimes I just don't feel like going to the Dedham one. I'm like, you know what? The Brockton one is actually equidistant, and I think sometimes has a few more things I'm looking for. So I'll go over to that one instead.
You priced them out?
Sure.
Good for you, Dad.
Well, no, it's not. It's not about the pricing. It's about the availability, stock. What's in stock?
You could talk to the staff. You ever put your hands in your pockets?
Oh, sure.
I can imagine that you find one of these guys in an apron coming down the aisle, You are not afraid to ask some questions.
They see him coming.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want to go? I did it last time.
Yeah, I don't think they're working on commission, so I imagine that's more of an annoyance.
It's like, I just blew 20 minutes with this guy last weekend. Can you please?
20 minutes.
I don't have questions about my project necessarily, but sometimes I just want to have a visit.
How often do you go there to mix paint?
I don't do a lot of painting projects myself, but I safe to say I find myself at a Lowe's or a Home Depot weekly. Sure. Once a week.
Just watching them mix paint.
No.
Hanging around, looking at doorbells.
No. Golf stores I'll go into just to mill around. But if I'm going to Lowe's or Home Depot, I'd say at least 2/3 of the time it is to buy something.
Okay.
It's not a browsing situation.
Do you go like, oh, that's it. I have to go to Lowe's. And then you could leave in a huff.
Okay, so if you ever have time to kill, like your kids over at a thing or something,
sure.
Would you ever go into a Lowe's just to kill some time?
No.
Oh, I love it.
I don't know how to do any of that kind of stuff. I'm not a real man, I'll tell you. I've had women say that to me. I'm not joking. Like, not about like sex. I'm not making a double entendre. Like, being frustrated with me. Like, you don't know. Like, you're not a real man. You don't know how to do anything. I'm like, I'm not. Feel these hands. They're soft. I don't know what to tell you. A lot of women find me unattractive for that reason. I'm not lying to you. You know, but then I make it up.
I'll stop you when you're wrong.
Sweet romance.
Talk to me about tonight's game, man.
Yo, I told people from the beginning of the season, the Mavericks ain't built for this. Kyrie's a bum. Luka's a bum. Derek Lively's a bum. Whole roster's a bum. All of them bums.
How about Mark Cuban?
Mark Cuban, he sold his franchise for a reason. He a pussy. The Mavericks organization. Patrick Mahomes. Any Maverick supporter in the world. Celtics on top. Celtics on top forever. We bleed green.
Who should be the MVP?
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown. Why is that?
He's right. Jaylen Brown is the MVP right now. There's no question about it. And it is an interesting discussion, but good for Jaylen Brown. He felt slighted, and people were overlooking him, and now he's going to be the MVP of the
I'm
finals.
wondering if I have a cash-out option on my Jaylen Brown MVP bet right now.
I bet you absolutely do.
I probably should, at the very least, but I'm not selling that thing, baby.
No. Unless he does something terrible and they lose Game 4 and then Tatum goes off in Game 5, he's MVP.
Because he's the GOAT. He's been the most consistent player on the team since he came to us. Longest tenured, he deserves it.
How are you going to celebrate if they do win?
Well, we turn the city upside down. Yeah. Brockton, Boston, Braintree, Taunton, everywhere getting flipped upside down. 16 years in the making.
All right, I'm holding you to it. I mean, Hardy and I are from the 80s Detroit. I mean, do you want to compare?
Are you issuing a challenge?
I mean, you want to go cast corner where you just burn the mother effer down?
Put the barriers up early, folks.
Again, YouTube 1984 Tiger celebration. They had the staff of a news station on a cherry picker 20 feet above the crowd, and they're just being pelted with bottles. They ripped up the whole state. The city, no one could handle it. It was too much for everyone.
And then they have the one representative Tigers fan with his pennant standing in front of the multiple burning cars and buildings. Yay.
It's so weird to go to Cass Corridor and like see people living there. They just burned it down. They burned down an area of the city.
Let's go! On my mom and on my grandmama and on my dead cousin. On my dead cousin. This is for you, Nunu. This is for you, Nunu, on dead dogs.
Ooh, someone knows someone in Extreme. Look at Nunu Betancourt's reach here.
It took me a second, but then I got it.
Nunu Betancourt has a big fan in Brockton.
On my dead cousin. This is for you, Nunu. This is for you, Nunu, on dead dogs.
Okay, if you could say anything to the Boston Celtics, if they were all collectively standing here right now, what would you say?
That finals 2 years ago, we said it, we bleed green. We still bleed green to this day. On ain't but it's Kyrie. Yeah, Kyrie. Hey, Kyrie. Kyrie. Hey, Kyrie. Kyrie. Hey, Kyrie. Kyrie. Hey, Kyrie. Kyrie.
He was more like single zero for a logo 3. He doesn't mind, but what he said was, I am the one. Celtics will dance on the floor in the finals. Scal said he is the one. Celtics will dance on the floor in the finals.
Right now, what would you say? He a pussy.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Nicholas!
Simply standing here right now, what would you say?
I wanted to find the new part again, but I'm not talented enough. All right, very good. Nicholas, excellent job.
It's for you, Nunu, on Dead Dogs. It's for you, Nunu, on Dead Dogs.
You know, he's related to one of them extreme guys, is our own Ty Anderson.
That's right.
Very good, Nick. Excellent job. Thank you so much for going out there. You're the number one in my book. Nick works very, very hard. Adolfo Gonzalez was out in Dallas. We will have his audio coming up. Plus, Doris Burke was on fire last night, as was Sean Grandy and Cedric Maxwell. Everyone was on fire. We'll have some of those highlights for you in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines.
The Celtics withstood 35 points from Kyrie Irving and a big charge down the stretch from Dallas. They beat the Mavericks last night 106-99 and now lead the NBA Finals 3-0. They can complete a 4-game sweep tomorrow night as the two teams reconvene at the American Airlines Center. Tom Brady officially inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame last night at Gillette Stadium. Robert Kraft also added the number 12 has been officially retired by the team, and in the coming year, a 12-foot statue of Brady will be placed in the plaza outside the team's Hall of Fame. Red Sox beat the Philadelphia Phillies 8-6 at Fenway Park in the first round of the U.S. Open golf tournament underway at Pinehurst number 2. Tiger Woods has just teed off. There are about 20 players on the course. Amateur Omar Morales and Ireland's Seamus Powers share the lead at 1 under par. Sports Hub headlines are powered by the commuter rail. Heading to Zach Brown at Gillette on June 26th. Take the train. Round-trip tickets are just $20, and they're on sale now on the M-Ticket app, so buy yours before they sell out. I'm John Wallach of Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8 o'clock.
Derek White swings right side. 3 in the air is good. And the Boston Celtics lead by 21. Jason Kidd calls timeout to say what? Jason Kidd speculated the other day on who the Celtics' best player was. Spoiler alert, it doesn't matter.
Why did you call a timeout? Because they were going to get it within 1. That's why you called the timeout, Randy. You got a little ahead of yourself.
It happens. I've done that.
Yeah, you have done that.
I've done that.
The one game you called this year, you did it.
I did it. I said it was the Harlem Globetrotters against the Washington Generals. Celtics are up 30 in the first half, and they lost.
Yeah.
So it happens.
Yeah, our show is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. But while Grandy was out there being Grandy and inventing narratives, like he tends to do, saying that no one thought they were going to win Game 2, which I have no idea what he's talking about. I don't know what the deal with that is. But we did have our sweet ABC analyst, J.J. Redick, who's awful, just terrible. But then the great Doris Burke, who's very good. And Doris Burke, a great high school and college basketball player. Then getting in and being a groundbreaking analyst. And last night, Doris Burke was talking about what was going on in the game, and here's what she had to say.
That one off the mark, too strong. Holiday knocks it out of Doncic's hands. It's still Mavericks ball.
J.J. Redick came on the air talking about the defensive abilities of Drew Holiday and Derek White. They are on display again. He's tracking that the whole way like a Raptor. This is ridiculous. The push ahead, and there's an absolute foul. It should have been an N1 for the Boston Celtics.
Oh, you got to track like a Raptor. Track your prey. You know what I would do, Jonathan?
What's that?
I would just flesh wound of the beast.
You wouldn't kill it?
No, John. This is where the hunt begins. Little trickles of blood throughout the forest. And I would sometimes just use my sense of smell, that faint metallic smell of animal blood.
Almost like a dirty penny.
Intoxicating to the taste and the touch, Hardy.
It's kind of like a shark stalking its prey in the water.
When Jaws takes that chick's leg off, oof, I needed a cigarette.
Different types of bodies, but you hang tough when you have a tough shooting night.
Oh, I used to play hanging tough while I disemboweled the beast. I used to play the whole New Kids album, really. And Milli Vanilli's Girl, I'm Gonna Miss You. I would play that as I remove the entrails from the beast. You hang it from a limb quickly. So quickly, let me explain.
Yes, go ahead.
So you kill the beast. Now it's time to you've tracked it, you've killed it. Now it's time to consume it, of course. A ritualistic. So you take the beast, you hang it by its back hooves. Interesting. Why? We're going to bloodlet. Now, what's fun is sometimes you've heard taking a shower in the beast's blood.
Oh, really?
Oh, sure. You cut it, all the blood's coagulated to the bottom. Kaboom, I've cut it. Now I'm showering this stuff.
You must have to hang the carcass from a pretty good height.
Oh, I'll carry it up there by my mouth with my mouth. I'll mouth it and then I'll rise on it like a koala.
Doris, I heard you're a very good high school basketball player. What do you have in your trophy room?
Different types of bodies.
Oh, no. That's...
Whoa.
No.
That's not right.
No, that's out at the morgue. Shots out. Thanks for letting me play with stuff.
That's 2 shots, period. That is 2 shots to me.
That's what the beast gets, 2 shots. 1 to wound. Just killing stuff. Just playing with guts. You know what a good stew is?
No. What?
If you're going to use all of the beast, Hardy, you just take the entrails, put it in a pot, cook it up, Feed it to unsuspecting people at the park.
Oh, no.
Yeah. You feed it to the homeless. What do they know?
They don't know what they're eating.
No, you throw a few carrots in there. It's basically eating the beast's waste. It's excrement.
How do you feel about vegan diets and people
I've never been there.
about plant-based lifestyle?
Huh?
Plants, lettuce.
Yeah, plants are to be
vegetables?
chopped down in hunt of the great animal. Plants have no spirit, therefore create no nutrition or no zest. I mean, I cut a plant just to get closer to the beast. A plant is something to be rained on in blood.
Doris, what is the most dangerous game in terms of hunting?
Your mind in silence. Your mind when you were atop the tree looking down at your prey.
So it's a battle within yourself as well as against the beast.
Doris, do not turn the weapon on yourself.
Oh, no.
Oh,
no.
Whoa, hey. Whoa.
We've gone from venison jerky, Doris, to contemplating
when death is on your
acts.
doorstep, Hardy, one must reflect. It's a constant state of reflection. All right, very good. Mark from Medford, the Brady thing did go on yesterday. Mark, go ahead, sir.
Hey, what's up, Fred? What's up, Hardy?
Hey.
So two things last night. First off, as much as sometimes you couldn't stand Bill Belichick, that ovation last night reminded me of the Bobby Orr number retirement ceremony when he thought the fans just weren't going to stop cheering. And I have to admit, the guy deserved every minute of it.
Yeah, it was weird. Let me add to that is if you didn't see, Bill Belichick got like this big standing ovation. He got kind of misty. I don't blame him. It was kind of weird because it's over and it just ended. It's kind of weird. Just the timing of it seems very strange. This seems like something that would have been better off like a year from now. But all right, go ahead, Mark.
And number two, what was the deal? I know I watched it on YouTube TV last night, and at 7 o'clock there was nothing airing, and everybody's asking what's going on, why can't we see anything? And the New England Patriots in the chat box kept on repeating, we're not allowed to show the opening. We're just not allowed to do it. So what was the deal with Jay-Z and the Patriots last night? Because if it was a contractual obligation, then Jay-Z is a real ass clown.
All right, John, what happened? Why?
I had the same problems that Mark from Medford did. I tuned in at 7 o'clock. There was nothing there. There was nothing there until about 6 minutes after 7. Jay-Z was out there basically while Tom Brady walked into the building. Much like he ran on the field during his career. My understanding was you weren't allowed to film any concert footage of Jay-Z.
Yeah. Okay, so the deal is, too, the only footage of Jay-Z is it's a good footage because from a phone, but it's from a phone. And so Jay-Z comes on stage and it's just smoke. You cannot see him.
Yeah.
Fred, you could see him. No, you can't. It's like you can't see anything. There's just smoke. And then in front is where all the tables with the players and everything are. And they're just milling around talking. So it's almost like they're playing Jay-Z just over the speakers. Yeah. He's not even there.
The whole thing was really strange.
It was really strange. They did it all wrong. That part was wrong. It was boring last night anyway, but that part was wrong.
Well, they did a good job of streaming a lot of parts of it and the footage and all that. But let's face it, this was not a made-for-TV event because if it was, it would have been on frickin' TV. This was one of these just love-ins at the stadium, and that was the most important part. The fact that they got a lot of the footage to go online on Patriots.com and did a good job with a lot of it, I think was icing for them. But this was always meant to be, an event for the people there. So if it fell short because of whatever contractual stuff or performance rights or whatever Jay-Z was doing, well, that was never really the point of any of this. And the thing about it, most of these things aren't. They're meant for the people who are there. Most things now are made for TV. Yeah, all NFL games are made for TV events. Yeah, pretty much any sporting thing you watch now. But this was one that was like an in-person priority first.
All right. We will be back, and when we are, we'll be joined by the great Adolfo Gonzalez. He lives in Dallas. He is back. He went out to the game last night to get our little show some audio. Adolfo Gonzalez returns to the show, coming right up.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Oh, guys, look.
wish we'd have got some better shots, took care of the ball. But things happen. It's never going to go how you expect it. And we talk about that all the time. But if you want to be a champion, you have to be resilient in those moments. And, we showed that tonight.
He finished with 31 points. Jaylen Brown added 30 for the Green as they went up 3-0 in the NBA Finals. Celtics still unbeaten on the road in the playoffs. They've won 10 straight overall and can clinch a record 18th championship Friday night when they play Dallas in Game 4. NBA Hall of Famer Jerry West passed away yesterday at the age of 86. The Patriots officially inducted Tom Brady into the team's Hall of Fame last night at Gillette Stadium. Number 12 has officially been retired by the franchise, and Robert Kraft promised that during the coming season, a 12-foot-tall statue of Brady will be erected in the plaza right next to the team's Hall of Fame. Patriots also wrapped up mandatory minicamp with a handful of players absent, including Tyquan Thornton, Cole Strange, and Kendrick Bourne. Red Sox rallied back from 4-0 down to beat Philadelphia at Fenway Park last night 8-6. And in golf, round 1 of the U.S. Open is in its very early stages in North Carolina, and I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to say this again, so I'll say it now. Tiger Woods has a share of the lead at 1 under par. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Dr. Matthew Lopresti and Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, the hair doctor of Hardy and Brian Scalabrine at 1-800-GET-HAIR. I'm John Wallach of Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Al Horford.
This is Al Horford.
Al Horford catching slam. Horford for 3.
You're listening to the home of Boston Celtics basketball. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
We're back with Tuncher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Jason Tatum, who carried the Celtics the entire first half, will dribble out the clock. And for the first time since 1959, the Boston Celtics have a 3-0 lead in the NBA Finals.
All right, everybody. We are Toucher and Hardy, and it's very exciting indeed. The Celtics are up 3-0. Our show is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. And we had young Nicholas out at the big-time Celtics watch party, but that's not where the game was played. No, the game was played in Dallas, Texas. So one thinks, who do we know in Dallas, Texas? And everyone knows who we know in Dallas, Texas. It is the legendary Adolfo Gonzalez, who resides there and now is on the phone with us very early in the morning, Dallas time. Hello, Adolfo.
Hello. Just want to give a shout out to the Quincy crew, Philbot, Wu-Tang, Micus, and of course, the Spoon Man. And how y'all doing today?
Oh, wow. Adolfo coming out fire.
My goodness.
Who is this Quincy crew you're referring to?
Some friends.
All right, very good, Adolfo.
It's not changed a bit.
Adolfo, are you driving right now?
I'm not driving right now, no, but I'm in the car.
Oh, okay, all right.
All right, very good. And you're going to work?
I called in today.
Oh, you did? Look at you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. How are things going in Dallas?
Not great. Not great.
Why are they not going great?
Well, besides the fact that it's very hot, the power seems to go out every other day. And, of course, this whole state is run amok by fanatics.
Okay, so you do not like where you're living right now. Is there a chance that you could come back to...
That's the reason why I left.
Do you want to come back to Boston?
Oh, it would be great, T. It'd be fantastic. Because Boston is my home. But, cost of living's ridiculous.
It is very expensive to live here, Adolfo. But, I mean, you have a big name here. You've been away for a while. You could come back. I mean, everyone would love to have you back.
I mean, I would definitely love to come by to visit. Maybe when I, come up with a way to figure out a living situation, I could come back. But then again, the fanaticism around here, got to keep an eye on that. And
you're saying you're needed down there. All right. How about this? We will. I'll bring you up here. When do you want to come up? When do you want to come up to Boston? I'll bring you up to Boston. I would like to hang out with you again. I can't drink.
You got a lot of room in that condo.
I do. Oh boy, do I have a lot of room in that condo. Adolfo, just come stay in that. Live with me. Adolfo, just come live with me. No, just kidding. But you, but listen, when do you want to come up? We'll have you up. We'll have you up. When do you want to come up?
I know that Worcester is having a hardcore a music festival coming up, so maybe around then. I gotta check the calendar.
All right, very good. All right, you were at the game last night. You did us a big favor. We're going to play audio from it here coming up in a minute. What's the attitude like there? What was it like at the game?
Well, what's really interesting is that the arena where the Mavericks play, it kind of Victory Park kind of reminds me of what Fenway Park kind of looks like. There's a bit of a shopping center, not as big, so there was definitely a vibe out there. People were out there watching the game from TVs from bars, which was pretty interesting. I mean, there were definitely people who were out there to be seen, and but yeah, it is a different energy down there. It's not as intense as it is near the Garden.
Yeah, and did when you were getting audio last night, did you get some feelings? Did it bring back old memories?
It did. It reminds me of what the old Garden felt like, because it was a big open space. It was easy for me to move around. I saw pictures of what North Station looks like now. I'm like, I can only imagine what it's like getting audio there.
Yeah, it's
very crowded.
Yeah, it's too much now. They did too much to it. All right, Adolfo.
You did a great job, though, Adolfo. I know I already emailed you back this morning, but like a duck to water. You just got out there getting that audio and talking to the people. Could tell that you connected with everybody right away, and you did a fantastic job. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Hardy. I appreciate it. I was out there. I was focused. I didn't have any music in my ear or anything like that.
Yeah.
Stop begging my friends to work for you. You phony prick.
All right. I understand what you're saying. All right, Adolfo, we love you. I'm going to play your audio now, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Adolfo. Love you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye. He's no fan of his.
He's changed a lot since we talked to him last. He's
not
nothing
like
like the kid I remember when he left.
He is no fan of Richard.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't pick up on that.
I didn't tell him to say that, by the way. I swear on my kids' lives I didn't say that.
No, it sounded very organic.
I had no conversation about it at all with him. I'll let you look at my Instagram with him. All right, here we go. Adolfo Gonzalez is out at the Dallas Mavericks Arena.
What's the name of the arena there, Waller?
The American Airlines Center.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Here is Adolfo at the America Airlines Center.
Can we use this for the radio?
Yes.
Now, what do you think of tonight's game?
It was bull, but it was a good game.
Now, you seem pretty in good spirits besides losing game 3 in the finals. What were some good takeaways from tonight's game?
Some good takeaways from tonight. Yeah, we got great people. Great friends. Yes, great friends. We had great company to cheer on the Mavs.
Huh?
Great company to cheer on the Mavs. A takeaway is we have great company, great friends.
Awesome.
Great friends to cheer on the Mavs.
But they're so hot. I mean, you have to admit.
I'm sure that kind of levels the playing field a little bit.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, you
better hope so.
When it's just audio, I mean, you can't appreciate just how much hotter the women.
Sure.
It's really something else.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Exactly. You have to have a good crowd of people when you come and cheer on your team.
Uh-huh.
You do have to have a good crowd of people when you come cheer on your team.
Yeah. She's spoken no lies so far.
Absolutely. There is a bit of a difference. You get some ladies at a Bruins game. These women look like confetti after it's over. You want to talk about entrails on the floor.
Yeah, but they can beat the crap out of the women from Dallas, so we're good.
Well, that's what I'm saying, John.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying you get two ladies at a Bruins game at like 18 Bud Lights deep. The Bud Light kid, I don't want to get fat. It's a good crowd. Shut up.
Now, what do you think of Luka?
Luka, I yelled like probably 50 times. So many times. I yelled at him so many times to marry me, and I'm kind of offended that he did not decide to marry me. Yeah.
They were making marriage proposals to Luca.
These girls are boy crazy.
I wonder if they liked Adolfo, because, I mean, they are not dissimilar in their body type.
Luca to marry me. I'm offended.
I'm a little bit pissed at that, but other than that, I think it was bull that he got kicked out of the game was BS. We named our firstborn dog child after him. Luca. Now I gotta go and tell my child that Luca got kicked out and that we didn't win. But he'll be back for the next game.
Now, how many?
Where do you think Luca is now? I mean, what do they do with poor Luca while they're out at the game?
Oh, yeah.
Proposing marriage.
Well, I believe she said dog child. Their first dog child. So they named the dog Luca.
I was going to say, where's poor Luca?
No.
Does he live on the second floor?
Upstairs from you.
I've seen him before.
Did you hear something late at night?
I never asked him what it was.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I just don't want to know.
Don't ask.
That's it. And good advice.
Yeah.
If you're an adult that's concerned about a child's situation, don't ask. Don't ask. Don't get involved. Don't save the day.
Now, how many games do you think this is going to go to?
It's going to go to the 8th game. Absolutely.
It is going to go to the 8th game. There's no question about it.
This is a bold prediction.
A nice, even amount of games. It's going to go just 4-4. And then you know what? If they go up 4-0, knock a couple out. Why end the season? You got enough runway. Football doesn't start for a couple months. Give the people what they want.
Absolutely. Absolutely to the 8th game. Don't laugh. It's going to go to the 8th game.
Now, if you get...
When Adolfo's laughing at you, I got news for you, lady.
Now, how many games do you think this is going to go to?
It's going to go to the 8th game.
Oh.
Yeah. You would think that just you would understand in your brain that wouldn't be a good amount of games.
Don't laugh. It's going to go to the 8th game.
Now, if you can say anything to the Mavericks, what do you like to say?
Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. Absolutely.
What?
We're going to win the 8th game. Yes.
Wow, so many things that are wrong with that. I can't tell you. Congratulations.
They are really getting it done.
Don't laugh. It's going to go to the 8th game. Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. Absolutely. But we're going to win that 8th game. Yes.
They don't even let them each other finish sentences.
Well, that's that good jazz. That's that good bebopping and scatting back and forth. They just play off of one
I
another.
imagine that they were really good looking, and that I can just picture the guys that if they were with guys at that game, and just sitting there, going, "I spent all this money, and just when is this going to end? When is this going to end so we can go home? When is this going to end so the conversation stops?"
I don't know where we get to it. Adolfo got.
I got it.
Yeah, he had a couple of. Are we doing it here?
Let's do one here.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Adolfo is out and about. We had Nick at the great Celtics watch party, and then we have Adolfo Gonzalez out at the wonderful Dallas Mavericks game. Here we go. Here's Adolfo Gonzalez.
Yeah, all right. So, what do you think about tonight's game?
We started off slow as we played horrible. We couldn't buy a bucket. Tatum showed up in the first half. JB finally ended up to decide to come into the arena in the second half, and we got back to playing Celtics basketball. When we play Celtics basketball, nobody in the league can beat us.
Wow, Adolfo Gonzalez out in Dallas talking to a Celtics fan who obviously traveled for the game. Very exciting.
So it's safe to say that you're a pretty committed Celtics fan. How long have you been a Celtics fan?
I bleed green.
So are you visiting Dallas?
I live here. Let's go, Steve. What is my mother? Suck my
Okay. Wait, who is he talking to?
I'm gonna run the city naked.
I think there are other people walking by who hear him talking about the Celtics, and then he says that to them.
I like that he's from Dallas, a Celtics fan, and he's adopted exactly the way Celtics fans are here. he's even though he's probably never been to Boston, he just knows them from TV. He's completely adapted the personality of a Celtics fan.
What am I mother? Hey, you from Dallas? Stop talking like a New York guy.
Okay, so you're from
Stop
here.
Stop talking like you're from New York. You're from Dallas.
There's been a lot of hate towards Kyrie Irving.
Him.
Well, was it justified?
Him forever.
Now, why is that?
If you ever seen a Mexican telenovela, it was the worst breakup ever. And he was a girlfriend.
Ah, yo sabes qué? Yo sabes.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're getting into it.
Baby. Adolfo likes that. When he said a Mexican novella, he's talking about the Mexican soap operas. And then Adolfo goes, it's time to floss. Yeah. What do I know how to do? He's living in a home where Spanish is the first language. What is Adolfo going to do? He's going to turn it on, baby.
So this is a Mexican, what do you call it, a telenovela?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you ever seen a Mexican telenovela, it was the worst breakup ever. And he was a girlfriend.
Ah, yo sabes qué? Yo sabes qué?
Así mero, así mero.
A mi cantar.
Así mero.
All right.
Ya sabes.
So, now, if you can say anything to the city of Boston.
Can I cuss?
Sure.
Go Celtics or go yourself. Let's go!
Oh, boy, Adolfo. Oh, showing off. Wow. Who knows what they said in Spanish and if it can get us in trouble, but listen, it's only my own ignorance of not being bilingual.
So you know what, Fred? I thought the same thing. It sounded okay to me. I'll let it roll.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if anything, it's just our own ignorance.
Así mero.
All right.
Ya sabes.
So.
Oh, boy, Adolfo was very excited when he said telenovela. And I do like that the Mexican-American from Dallas has adopted the exact way of speaking and the exact things that Celtics fans say right here in Boston.
Well, not everything.
Chop off my balls and go nuts.
He didn't go as far as to say chop them off, but he referenced balls or the genital area, as every fan has this entire playoff run that we've talked to. Every male fan has mentioned their genitalia.
Chop off my balls and go nuts.
I mean, that is some deep-seated stuff. Go sit down with someone and talk about why that came to your brain.
It's either that or something genitalia related.
Cocaine and hookers! Yes!
Well, that's just party. I mean, that just goes without saying. I mean, everyone has got at least Eros.com up.
It's always going to. It's always going to get to that point. If the game goes late enough, or the series goes that long.
Don't laugh. It's going to go to the 8th game.
Yeah, it's going to get to that point where it's cocaine and hookers. Right.
I just enjoy the even number of games.
Yes.
I do find that interesting.
Right. It's going the distance.
It's going to end in a draw.
We're just going to have a nice even amount of games.
Yeah, like soccer.
If she said 5 or 3 or 9, I would be like, okay.
You got a 50-50 shot, you know.
Yeah,
odd or
exactly.
even. Right.
You would just think that mentally you would know, no matter how intoxicated you are or whatever K they were on or whatever's going on, because they were speaking rather slow.
Now, how many games do you think this is going to go to?
It's going to go to the 8th game.
All right. Very good. We will be back in just a moment. The great Mike Gorman will join us. Thank you to Adolfo Gonzalez. I got a little feeling when I played that. Reminded me of days gone by. We will have Mike Gorman in just a moment.
Don't laugh. It's going to go to the 8th.
thoughts. You got to wear him down. Make him get tired.
Zolak and Bertrand. Weekday mornings at 10 on the Sports Hub. Tuncher and Hardy. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Oh, my goodness. What a busy show today. I got to give Hardy and Nick and Mike a ton of credit. Very hard working today.
There's a lot going on.
All I have to do is show up and react to this stuff. This all has to be prepared, so very big things.
Where do you think Adolfo was going? That's the one question I
think he was in the car because it was the only place that was quiet. I'd imagine the house he's in is quite noisy.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So he got up, walked out to the driveway, and sat in the car?
Yeah.
Interesting.
RC says, Adolfo, wow, Adolfo sounds good, coherent, and like he really has his crap together. I don't care for it at all. All right. Very good. Mike Gorman, of course, is the legendary voice of the Boston Celtics. He joins us on the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline. Hi, Mike.
I thought he kind of stiffed you there, Fred, on that nice invitation you made to come to Boston.
I just like that he knew he wanted to come up like when something else was going on.
Yeah.
Just coming to visit wasn't enough.
Yeah, like, hey, do you want to come hang out? And he's like, well, maybe it coincides with something I want to do. Yeah.
That was a different Adolfo that I remember.
Yeah, he's doing really well. I mean, it's good. He's doing really well. I have to admit, I got a nostalgic feeling talking to him on the air again. It was nice. I enjoyed it.
That's good.
I enjoyed it.
You don't hear that noise in the background, do you? That noise?
I absolutely do.
Sounds like a floor sander.
Yeah, well, yeah. My wife and I I'll go outside here. My wife and I made the foolish decision of having the two bathrooms in the house done over at the same time. So we've been without facilities here for a week. It's like we're camping.
What's the hygiene situation like right now?
We have a hole in the woods over here. We're doing all right.
Look at you, Mike Gorman, taking a page out of the Doors.
Gorman's a man's man. He can handle that.
I mean, it's what we do. we use the facilities outside.
That's right. If you have the correct change, you're all set. It's no problem.
All right, Mike.
Basketball, yes. You want to get to basketball.
Oh, no. Listen, I talk to you about anything. You know that. But let's talk about Luka. How unique.
Good. He is really, really good.
He is good.
Offensively, he is, and Kyrie, too. I mean, the offensive display that those two put on. But I'm wondering, like, in all the players that you've seen over the years, has there ever been a bigger disparity, especially from two players on the same team, with what they're able to do offensively and what they're unable or unwilling to do defensively?
No. And I know what it says about I can't remember, to be honest with you. I also don't know what it says that two guys like that can get a team all the way to the finals. You guys all followed. Name three other guys on the roster between those two for the match. You can't. I've been watching them play for. Yeah, Washington. Maybe the kid from Duke. It looks like he's pissed off most of the time.
Lively.
Yeah.
That's how I refer to him too. By the way, every time I see him, I'm like Duke. You're lucky you're a tall kid.
Yeah.
And you just went to Duke like everyone else.
But there has to be, like, part of me, Mike, really likes watching some of the shots that both Luka and Kyrie take, because they're not limiting themselves to right underneath the basket or three-pointers. They're willing to take those mid-range shots, either jumpers or fall-aways, and I like watching their game to that extent, but it's got to be so frustrating for Mavericks fans to see them essentially do nothing on the other end of the court.
I know. How about the emotional trip that those fans took last night at the game? They're up 13 in the first quarter, going crazy. Suddenly it's 1 at the half, then they get blitzed in the third quarter. Then it looks like a blowout, and people start to leave, and they outscore themselves, 20-2?
22
at one point there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you get back and almost pull it off. But I think, even though the Celtics won't let you say this word, the P word is going to start to be thrown around here soon. You know what the P word is?
No.
Bunch of people get together and walk up and down the street. It's a
posse?
No.
Parade?
There you go.
Oh, you don't want to jinx it.
I thought posse too.
I was like, why does he not want to say posse?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't want to jinx it by saying
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, you don't want to say that there will be a Title 18 parade.
Up 3-0 in the series, Mike. You're afraid of a jinx at this point?
I'm not, but if I say it, I'll get a phone call about 20 minutes from somebody in the Celtics front office going, "What are you doing talking about a P word?"
Okay.
So I'll let it go.
Would you be in the P word if they have the P word?
Yeah.
Mike, will you be in the P word if they have the P word?
I will be in the P word. Yes.
Yes. And you've been in a P word before, right?
I was in the one in 2008, yeah, and then I was in one up in Holyoke over the 4th of July.
You were in the Irish one.
That's right.
Yes, Ron, the Irish one. That was great. That was so much fun. That was unbelievable. Dan Johnsey, who got this award 2 years before I did, called me up right before I was going up. He said, "You're going to have the best time of your life. I know you don't think you are, but you are." And he was right. The time we showed up there, they made you feel like you're the most important person in the world. It was really a nice experience.
And there's a lot of I'm sorry.
Right.
There's just a lot of unintended double entendre here talking about.
I didn't mean it.
P-word?
Yeah, I didn't mean it, but that way. But it's just fortunate that it worked out that way. But Mike, because you're talking about the Irish parade that you did, and that was like the greatest honor that's like the greatest honor of your life. You talked about that so fondly. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to have my name on a plaque next to John F. Kennedy, I was like, okay, you sure you want to put that there?
Yeah.
But that was pretty. I don't save many pictures. I saved that one though.
Good for you.
At this point, is there anyone more important on this team than Jaylen Brown? Because it's close, and they're playing a real team brand of basketball, which I appreciate. I'm sure you do. But is there anyone more important to the Celtics when it comes to closing this thing out?
Well, I tell you, I think Jason has done it very quietly, even though the coach disagreed with me the other day when I tried to ask him this. I think he has given up part of his game for the greater good. And the greater good is the opportunities that Jaylen Brown gets with the ball. But Jason Tatum has, for a guy who 3 or 4 years ago was stuck with the ball in his hands all the time and didn't know what to do with it, now he gets rid of it, he moves it, he gets people moving. He's really done a really nice job. He's become the best rebounder on the team. I mean, both those guys. I mean, they lived up to their reputation. It's not often that both guys can do that with two of the teams. It took the Mavs 5 games, 4 games, whatever it is, 3 games. How much? 3-0. 3 games to actually get the act together in terms of getting the Kyrie 30 and getting the other guy 30. But I don't know. Do you think who do you win tomorrow night?
The Celtics win tomorrow night and put them away.
Mavericks are the favorite, and it did a 1 point.
The Mavericks the favorite, really?
I was surprised too. Coming in this morning, the Mavericks were a 1 point favorite, and I don't know how this works, so I'm just talking out of my ass. But I heard the guy on the radio say, "Sharp money is going on Dallas again." I guess it did last night, and I guess it is again tonight. Early money.
At one point, about 5 o'clock last night, I called a pal of mine who's in that business, and he said 82% of the money coming in was on Dallas.
Wow.
Yeah. And I guess it's like that again for Game 4, according to this morning. But I always feel guilty talking about it because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I'm just repeating someone. That's what
it must be those guys sitting with the cowboy hats in the first row.
Exactly. Sure. Yeah, exactly.
I guess and if you wanted to put money on like Dallas as an underdog last night for a nice payout to win outright, I get that. Or even, okay, if they were 5-point underdogs last night, yeah, I think Dallas would have been worth a bet. But now it just seems so obvious that they don't have enough to stop the weapons that the Celtics have. And to me, that continues to be the really fun and impressive part of this finals series is you're getting contributions from Derek White and Drew Holiday, and yes, of course, Brown and Tatum. But
Dallas's big two aren't getting contributions from anybody to help them.
How about Xavier Tillman? Huh? Knocking down a 3 from the corner, playing good defense.
Fred's all over it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fred is all over it. The Michigan State guy.
Tillman, I mean, you can tell no moment's too big for him. Tillman comes in the game, and he just says, I belong here. Tom Izzo, thank you very much for molding me into the man I am today. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the guys tell us about Pritchard. Pritchard steps on the court. He's absolutely convinced he's the best player out there. And that's what carries some of these guys, too, greater than you would expect. Obviously, Tillman last night finally gets a chance to play, and buries the first three of his career, kind of, wasn't it? Something like that. Or something.
Yeah.
He's not used to be getting the ball in the corner.
Mike, I would imagine, if even for a casual basketball fan, it's really tough to root for Luka Doncic. I mean, he's one of the best three players in the league. He was an MVP finalist, but watching him last night, he's fantastic offensively, but the rest of his game, the defense, the constant he made a just stupid foul that they had to challenge. It was an obvious foul, and they only challenged because Luka was yelling at him to do it, and it cost them. He basically cost him the game last night.
Well, he did. I think they'll put up a fight tomorrow night. Now, whether they win or not, I know they may fold again down the stretch, but I don't think Kyrie and he want to live in Dallas, having lost 4 straight, and get. That's a tough one to live down. If they get win tomorrow night and then lose the game 5, people say, okay, no big deal. But if you look down and you see 4-0 next to their name, you're like, wow, those guys must have been really bad.
Yeah, and we saw it in the beginning of the game, and we saw it again, like what you mentioned, when there was the big comeback by Dallas. The Celtics do have the ability, as great as they've been playing, and look, they're going to win the championship and everything else. So I'm not bad-mouthing them in any way, but they do have the ability to take their foot off the gas, and, they do. And so so the notion that you're right, that Dallas just doesn't want to be embarrassed and comes out, and maybe the Celtics are kind of running on fumes, because Jaylen Brown after the game was like, this seems like unreal. They know they're going to win the championship. They can feel it. It's got to be a weird feeling. What do you think? Do you think that's crazy that Dallas is a 1-point favorite on for Game 4?
Yes, I do. I mean, I think it's crazy. The Celtics won 10 in a row.
Yeah,
in the postseason.
Yep.
They're almost perfect on the road. Why would you suddenly make this team that has gotten blitzed in 3 straight games now suddenly the favorite? I don't get that.
Yeah.
But then again, nobody's making rational decisions on this. This just depends upon how much money comes in on what side.
Sure.
And so I think this obviously is a lot of oil money and a lot of cattle money, cow money, whatever you want to call it down there.
Just people destroying the planet. Yes, indeed.
They're going on the home team. I don't know. There was about 4 guys sitting there last night at one shot, all with these cowboy hats on in the first row, and you figure, those are the guys who screwed up the odds right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. Mike, just real quickly, what do you think of Mazzulla and the way he's coached, not only in this series but throughout this postseason?
I think he's terrific. I really do. I'm prejudiced. I've known him for a long time, since he was in high school. But I think he's doing a terrific job, and I think he's going to be a Celtic coach for a long time. Yeah. He's different, no question about it. He's different. But he's players play for him, and they like him, and he came up with some good out of timeouts. He's getting better and better with plays. I think Joe's around for a long time.
Yeah, he's a made man now, and you're right. He's a big weirdo, and it was hard to adjust to him, but a championship makes that all better. I mean,
it does. It really does.
Yeah.
And what more could you possibly? How could you rationalize letting this guy go?
No, you can't, especially now when it seems like he's got a better feel for the game. He seems to not be put off by the
He's part of the reason they're winning.
Yes.
He's not a passenger.
It's a team. I mean,
that's right.
There's different guys shining at different points in every game, and their defense as a whole is a team concept. And I think that, and I also bet you anything that Mazzulla relaxes a little bit in terms of like his dealings with people once they've got a championship, because it'll be so much more ingrained and so much more in place. Like, he doesn't have to worry about it anymore. He won't feel like he's always being challenged the way that he feels now. Maybe we'll relax on Washburn.
I was just going to say his one-on-one with Gary is going to die down a little bit.
Well, hopefully not, but maybe he will, because I do enjoy those. All right.
When I look at a coach around the league and will he stay or will he go, I think the thing bottom comes down to how hard does the team play for him. And that's where Joe's team is. They go out and play hard. Celtics played hard throughout this entire series and throughout the playoffs, witness their record. So, there's not much to complain about. And soon we'll be able to say the P word with smiles on our faces.
Right.
All right. Well, Mike Gorman, we look forward to talking to you around that and everything else that's going on.
Adolfo.
Huh?
I'll be like Adolfo. I'll go around to parade people.
Yeah.
You having a good time? What's going on here? Huh?
Exactly. Just go find drunks at the parade. It will be hard. I don't know. I don't know how you'll do it.
Attractive women. How about that woman, huh? What she have? What was? Doncic's last name? Dundee or something?
Donche.
You said attractive women, so you think Dallas is coming back. All right, very good. All right, very good, Mike. Thank you so much for the time, my friend. We will talk to you soon.
See you,
Yeah,
Mike.
let's go play golf. See you.
Absolutely, we will. We shall. I mean, the kid with the country club, he really wants to do it. He keeps saying it. All right, very good.
I think we should ask Mike to get street audio for us.
Oh, that'd be great.
He kind of offered it up, so we might as well.
Yeah. I mean, it will be funny. It'll be Mike Gorman. Oh, chop my balls off. Mike Gorman. Oh my
Chop
God.
off my balls and go nuts.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what they'll be saying. I'll tell you what, Nick. It's not going to take much to get audio the next time.
Just put a
turn it
live
on
mic down and
just walk away.
Yeah, just say,
put a mic down.
have at it.
Anyone out there could do this at this point.
We're a big sign.
It's yeah. That's not necessary.
That was you. That was me. That wasn't you.
No, I had said 2 today, and neither of them would be. I haven't said anything for a long time. I'm perfectly content. I've seen what I need to see. Okay. All right, very good.
See the people hanging in the bar in the evening on a Thursday night.
Hell yeah.
Tyler Milliken's cousin who's here today, but there's so much going on we can't even talk to him. At 9 o'clock we will debut. We have so much that there's stuff for tomorrow. But if you wondered where Kendra was, she'll be coming in at 9, and we have more from Tyler Milliken's cousin. Another hit that Hardy says we have to play today because it was Tom Brady's. It's about Tom Brady, who also had the big statue and everything yesterday. I mean, this is a big day for July or June. Who thought in mid-June we'd have all this to talk about? It is a gift from the gods. And we will have all of that for you coming up. So we have so much to get to. We will have that. And let's do another Nick recap here coming up and then get on with it. Thank you, Tyler Milliken's cousin. We'll be back in just one moment.
Sports Hub headlines.
Celtics withstood a 22-2 Dallas run in the fourth quarter. They got 31 points from Jason Tatum, 30 from Jaylen Brown, and they're 1 win away from a championship. After beating Dallas in Dallas last night by a score of 106-99, Celtics lead the NBA Finals 3-0. If they win tomorrow night at the American Airlines Center, they will clinch their 18th championship. Patriots inducted Tom Brady into the team's Hall of Fame last night at Gillette Stadium. Robert Kraft closed the evening by announcing Brady's number 12 has officially been retired, and during the coming season, a 12-foot-tall statue of Brady will be built next to the team's Hall of Fame on the plaza. Red Sox beat Philadelphia last night 8-6 at Fenway Park. And round 1 of the U.S. Open Golf Championship ongoing at Pinehurst. Number 2, American Logan McAllister is the lead at 2 under par. Tiger Woods is staring down a tough par putt on his 4th hole of the day, but for now, he's part of a large group of players that are only 1 shot back. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Emmanuel College, located at the prime intersection of business, science, medicine, technology, and more. Welcome to the heart of Boston in the Fenway neighborhood. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9 o'clock.
Hold everything.
I need that.
Listen live. Get breaking news.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. If you missed Adolfo on the show, he got audio for us out in Dallas. I've been talking to him since. Adolfo's going to come with the summer. I'm letting him stay with me. Let him stay in the condo.
How long?
The condominium.
Yeah, is it a weekend? Is it a week? What are we looking at?
Well, I don't think 7 days.
Okay.
I don't want anyone staying with me for 7 days short of my children.
Okay.
Yeah,
literally, like, no one staying with me for 7 days short of my children.
I understand.
Feels like we're going to have to get the Geek Squad into your condo for that time. Maybe get some cameras just in the common areas, like in the kitchen and the living room, just so we can get some see you guys during hangout time. Nothing in the bedrooms or bathrooms.
Listen, Adolfo and I used to hang out all the time. I used to drive that kid around, but I almost paid him to hang out with me.
It sounds like you're going to be driving him out to Worcester to go to some show that he wants to come up here for.
Can assure you that's not going to happen. But he said a Red Sox game, which seems a lot more reasonable to me. I am not going out to Worcester to a.
Well, yeah, you drive him out to Worcester. You find a Lowe's or a Home Depot to hang out for a couple hours while he's at the show, and then you drive back.
Not a show, Hardy, but a festival.
A festival. Well, okay.
It's an all-day affair.
That's better. It's probably more conducive to the operating hours of the Lowe's in Worcester, the Lowe's and Home Depot in Worcester. That's better for you. I'll give you a list of things to help you kill time.
All right, very good. Well, listen, Nick was out. We're all caught up with Adolfo, but Nick was out here in Boston talking to people at the big watch party at the Boston Garden.
Oh, boy, was he ever. I mean, the stuff going on at the Garden for the Celtics fever is they're now up 3-0 in the best of 7.
There was a chant. I don't want to give it away. In the fourth quarter, Tyler Milliken's cousin.
What he said was, "I am the one."
All right. I peed on my pants because my phone was ringing when I was urinating, and I dug into my pocket to get my phone. And wouldn't you know?
Oh no!
Thank you very much.
That's bad.
Yeah, but I pointed it out before you could call me on it.
Okay.
You know? All right, here is Nicholas out there in downtown Boston, the big city, last night.
All right, what's your name?
Oh, Rocco.
All right, can we use this for the radio?
Rob, Larry Flint's brother.
All right, what's your name?
Oh, Rocco.
All right, can we use this for the radio?
Yeah, West Coast Celtics.
I think he might have been drinking. This guy, I'm thinking, might have had an adult beverage. I don't mean to cast aspersions on anyone. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I think he might have been drinking.
My favorite Roman was.
Sorry, I thought that was him trying to say his name again. Go ahead.
It sounds like you've been screaming all night already.
Obviously, I love the Celtics.
All right, talk to me about tonight's game, man.
We were pushing the ball. We were doing very well.
Thank you for getting Scooby-Doo.
Jesus.
I wrote a Rogers. I wrote a Rogers.
This poor gentleman is not feeling good this morning.
No. I've talked to people, a lot of people actually, because we've done so many of these over the years that have like come up to me and they said like, yeah, dude, I didn't remember I did it. Yeah. And like the next morning I get all these text messages. You were on the radio last night.
This guy sounds like the guy at the golf tournament on Monday.
Oh, I hope not. That's it. The guy, that look in his eyes that meant there's no way he's up listening. There was that look in his eyes like I don't care for you. Like either I really like you too much or I don't like you at all. Mm-hmm. That's the way his eyes were talking to me.
And we killed it. I listen to Boston. Listen to Boston. They're screaming.
Listen to Boston, man. Double vision. Or is that Foreigner?
That's Foreigner.
Same difference.
Listen to Boston, third stage. Don't sleep on that record. Amanda.
Listen to Boston. Hell yeah. Big mattress.
Listen to Boston, cool the engines. Another good album that people don't give enough credit to.
He was a genius. Studio technician.
Let's go, Chiefs. Let's kill it. Next game. Let's go.
Why is he covering his mouth?
He's talking in the mic.
Oh, you're talking to him like an imaginary mic? All right. What was your favorite moment from the game?
My favorite moment was...
My favorite moment
My favorite Roman was.
I know it all too well. The inability to say M. That's tough when you got no motor control. I know it well.
Being an underrated best player of the Celtics, I think Drew Holiday killed it for us the whole series.
All right.
Drew Holiday is the best player.
So you think it's over? You think it's Friday?
Definitely over.
How are you going to celebrate?
How am I going to celebrate if we win it all?
What?
Well, I have tickets to Game 5.
All right, but all right.
Oh boy.
Right.
Do you, or is it a handful of magic beans?
My favorite Roman was being an underrated.
What are these two slips of paper you're handing me? Tickets to Game 5. Rory!
My favorite Roman was...
Ruby!
My favorite Roman was... I don't want to say it, but I might name someone Greek by mistake. Julius Caesar? Is that a good favorite Roman?
Sure.
All right, why not?
Sure.
All right, Game 4, this week. How are you going to celebrate?
Well, I've been wanting this win for about 18 years.
You know what was a real tragedy? The Jonestown Massacre.
Right. What are you going to? How are you going to celebrate if they win?
I'm gonna
rake a rake.
I'm revel in this magic Roman.
Pray to the gods and
we're gonna drink. You're still not answering my question.
I'm gonna party in Boston for the next 3 days.
What's the cow say? Woo!
There we go. That's awesome.
All right, there you have it. Everyone's gonna be
home.
Everyone's gonna be very intoxicated.
My favorite Roman was being an underrated.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, how exciting! Thank you, Nicholas, and Mike for cutting these up. Kendra Middleton will be joining us. We have stuff from the Brady situation. We have so much going on. We will have that coming up for you in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
No, I don't want to say nothing, but 6 foul in the NBA Finals, where I'm like this. Come on, man. Better than that.
Kyrie Irving scored a game-high 35 points in the loss. Jason Tatum, 31 points. Jaylen Brown, 30 for the Celtics. They have now won 10 straight playoff games. They're still undefeated on the road. They're 15-2 in the postseason overall this year. They'll play in Dallas again tomorrow night with a championship within reach. Basketball Hall of Fame player and executive Jerry West died yesterday at the age of 86. Tom Brady was officially inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame in a ceremony in front of a sellout crowd at Gillette Stadium last night. Robert Kraft also added that number 12 has officially been retired for the franchise, and in the coming year, a 12-foot statue of Brady will be placed on the plaza right outside the team's Hall of Fame. Red Sox beat the Philadelphia Phillies 8-6 at Fenway Park. They'll play them again tonight. And the first round of the U.S. Open golf tournament underway at Pinehurst, number 2 in North Carolina. Ludwig Oberg is now your leader at 2 under par. Tiger Woods and 12 others are 1 shot back. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Best Ford. Looking for great deals on a new Ford? Go to the Best first. Best Ford in Nashua. Head to bestfordofnashua.com. I'm John Wallach at Boston Hill for Sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
If you've got the app, you've got Spirited Sports Talk.
I have one ear and I got that.
98.5.
Wash, and I'll just want to know that.
All right, Brian is referring, it's an excellent question by Brian. He's referring to what I have raised on the air. I've also told Kendra about this off the air. I was urinating, but I'm not a child, so I don't remove my pants. I was urinating through the zipper. My phone rang. It was in my left pocket. I went to reach for the phone. It's been a very busy morning. Everyone's been excellent today. I reach into my pocket. I shift the shorts, and while I shift the shorts, things move around, and there's urine that gets on my shorts. An excellent question. Do I wash my hands? No. Why? I did not touch anything. I didn't touch anything.
Did you this
the
time?
Whole time? No.
You peed on yourself and you didn't wash your hands.
I peed, no, not on myself, on my shorts, and my hands were nowhere near that area.
Did you, see, this is, I can say with certainty, this is what I would have done. I would have taken some paper towel, wet the towel, scrubbed the urine, the pure urine spot on the shorts.
It is pure.
And then I would have washed my hands afterwards. So did you scrub the urine stain on your shorts?
No, I came out immediately and told you guys.
I have a question.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, because I didn't want you to see it before I told you. I wanted you to know I was aware of it, so you weren't pulling one on me. Go ahead, Kendra.
You won't eat things that have been cooked in other people's kitchens.
No, I will.
But you'll subject people to your pee on all the door handles and everything in this building.
Where has pee touched
you
my
peed
hands?
on yourself.
Not on my hands. Can
you stand up again? I would like to see the pee stain.
Yeah, how'd you zip your shorts up?
It's a great question.
Did you zip your? Did
you?
Yeah,
your hands came in contact with urine.
Pee is here, zipper's here.
Yeah, it's there now because you zipped up.
On top
but when
of-
it was zipped down, it was close to the urine.
Close, but not there.
On top of the fact that you told me you
in the
had
vicinity.
no clean shirts, and that's why you're in a colored shirt today. So you won't eat stuff cooked out of other people's kitchen, but you'll pee on yourself and not do laundry.
I don't know if this is going to be
long.
interesting for anyone, but if you must know, my daughter wears my T-shirts to bed. She finds, so like, I went into my drawer, and I was like, Zoe, you know, what the hell? There's the T-shirts, like, I wore them to bed. And then I went to her hamper, and all my T-shirts were in the hamper. So it's cute and lovable and adorable.
Okay, and this I don't understand either.
And they're all soaked in my urine.
Every member of my family could wear a different T-shirt to bed every night, and I could wear a T-shirt every day, and I wouldn't run out for probably 3 weeks.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because I'm at an odd time now, Hardy, where I have T-shirts from Atlanta that are still in my rotation, and they are starting to fall apart. I think as I have reached the age of 49 years old, the big 4'9", that I've recently had to buy new T-shirts for the first time, and I'd say a decade. No joke. A decade since I bought new T-shirts. Everything you see me wearing, you're the height of fashion. You say, what is this? But what's old is new again, and that's how.
That's not true. You buy new shoes.
Shoes, not shirts, not T-shirts. I buy new clothes. I had to buy adult clothes because I had to start going out because I'm single. So I had to start going out, so I had to buy men's clothes. So that was weird. So I had to do all that, but not T-shirts. This is a very interesting time in my life.
So you're
It's
short
very
on
exciting.
t-shirts.
I'm glad we're talking about it.
Short on T-shirts as a result of all
I
of
just
this.
bought 3, and they're now in rotation, and I'm shifting some out.
I see.
I'm just giving some to my daughter, but she doesn't want the ones I give her. She only wants the ones that are like booty, like the begotten, like a.
How
like
often
begotten
do you
treasure.
do laundry?
I do laundry constantly, but I also have 2 kids in the house. So like there's a like I don't have a lot of time. I really don't, because I do sleep during the day. So there's always something in the washing machine and something in the dryer. I would say I probably do 2 loads a day. 2 loads of laundry.
a day.
crap.
And you
And you're
couldn't
still
put a
short
T-shirt
on
in there?
T-shirts.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a very interesting time in my T-shirt rotation.
I don't think you're doing full loads. I think you could cut down on the amount of laundry that you do by waiting until you have an actual full load of laundry.
You should start wearing Zoe's T-shirts.
You would like that, wouldn't you? I'd be showing midriff. She's a little lady. I'd be showing a lot of midriff.
Maybe you should bring some in for Fred the next time
I
you're
have
here.
so many T-shirts. I just went through all mine because I moved. And I only have XL men's T-shirts. I will bring you T-shirts if you really want
There
them.
you go.
No, I
Start
don't need
sharing.
any.
Kendra,
it's just a commune, man. It's a thing. Yeah, let's just start sharing.
Hey.
it seems like this Tom Brady thing would have been something you would have been all over last night. Were you there? Were you in attendance?
I was not there. I was filming for a restaurant, but I did I did have the double screen up for the Brady tribute and the game.
Was it now? How boring was the Brady thing?
I thought it was great.
It was very boring. All right, let's hear just how boring it was, Hardy.
To RKK and the entire Kraft family, Myra, Jonathan, Danny, Josh, David, and Dana. In the year 2000, I was drafted as an immature 23-year-old kid. And 20 years later, I left New England as a much older 42-year-old immature kid. But in that time, I was taken in by a family who loved me as a son and embraced my family as one of their own. RKK, look around. You fostered a culture of excellence and integrity that has impacted an entire region. I love you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's great, and I'm not a Patriots fan, so I'm not feeling it. In fact, I don't like the Patriots at all. They bother me. But doesn't this all seem like really weird timing? Like, this all just stopped. You know what I'm saying? Like, Belichick rightfully got this huge round of applause and everything, but they just fired him like 2 months ago. Doesn't this seem weird? Like, they had minicamp with a new coach and new players, and then it shifts into this thing later that day. The whole timing of this seems very odd to me. Like, this just ended. It's a nice thing to do. They did it well. There was too much smoke when Jay-Z did you see Barry sent us the full video of Jay-Z? You've been busy this morning.
Yeah, I haven't seen
For
it.
the first minute Jay-Z's up there, you can't see anything. He's just covered in smoke. But, like, it was a good production and everything was great. It was boring for me, but it wasn't for me. So I understand that. But it just, the timing of it seems very odd to me. Like, all this kind of just happened.
I mean, did you want them to wait?
Yeah, well, I don't want them to do anything, but it just seems weird. Like, Belichick is up there in front of 60,000 people all going crazy, and he just got fired 2 months ago.
But also the beef isn't really with Belichick and the fans. It's with...
No, I'm saying just as an organization, it seemed an odd time to do all this. Like, you are embarking on this new chapter that has begun, and it's just begun. It just seems kind of weird. And from what I heard, Brady didn't name check Mayo during the thing at all. Like, or Belichick didn't name check Mayo. I don't know if Brady did or not, but Belichick didn't mention Mayo at all in his thing.
He didn't have time. He was telling that awesome golf story.
No, but I was told that he mentioned like 1,000 names during his speech, but he didn't mention Gerard Mayo, which is of course a slight on his part. If anything, he's over prepared for these things. That's why he's not funny. No improvisational skills.
Brady sounded kind of sick.
Well,
crying.
Allergies.
Seasonal allergies.
Very allergic. But it was very heartfelt. And to that end, Fred, our intern, Milliken's cousin.
Have you met Tyron Milliken's cousin?
I wave to him every time I come in here, but I have to say that the Milliken family is taking over my timeline between you guys and your videos with him and Tyler Milliken's nipples. I can't get them off of my timeline.
So that's explained. Where can I find Tyler Milliken's
Tyler Milliken's nipples are all over the internet.
He's posting photos topless now.
I believe when there's a triple. I think
Nudes,
it's a
nips
triple
for
nip.
trips. Yep.
Really?
Tyler Milliken should start an OnlyFans.
Is that fun? Are we having fun with this? Tyler Milliken's cousin, don't debase yourself like that. Tyler Milliken's cousin, you keep that shirt on unless you want to take it off.
Look at you. Period.
Well done.
Yes.
I wish I could have one.
But yeah, if you want to see Tyler Milliken's nipples, they're all over the internet.
I just want to feel the emotion
Okay.
of knowing new eggs are coming.
Fred, we have another song. We played a couple yesterday about the Brady tribute night from Milliken's cousin. Now, I would like you to listen to the raw audio first. You have it over there. It's number 3.
Okay.
And see if you can guess what song he chose. Now, this is not an assignment. This was his choice to do this song. He said,
he's an intern, so he's young.
He's young. And all I said was, we should do something for the big festivities at Gillette Stadium. And he said, I have a song. And he whipped up the lyrics to this while he was here that day on Tuesday.
Okay, here we go. That's how many people call the show. He had time to do this. Here we go. Tyler Milliken's cousin.
I remember all my life.
Oh, yeah. Mandy. He picked Mandy.
That's impressive. That right away.
That's really good.
Me First and the Gimme Gimmes do a cover of it.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. Mandy from Tyler Milliken's cousin. It's going to say Brady instead of Mandy. And I don't mean to ruin it, but I have a feeling.
Yeah.
I remember all my life. Raining down red, blue, and white.
Confetti, I guess.
You have a fetish for aliens?
Super Bowl confetti? I'm not sure.
I just love these. Well, birds chirp. It's a very professional studio operation.
Shadows of a man.
Thank you. I love that too. That's my favorite things about this song. Dang birds chirping all around. I can relate,
Didn't
brother.
he say he films these at his kitchen table?
I don't know. He lives in like an atrium. Or not an atrium. I don't know. An aviary.
Aviary.
Aviary. Thank you.
Shadows of a man. A face mask through the pocket.
What? What just happened?
I don't know.
Can we replay that line?
He took acid.
That was kind of a banger.
A face mask through the pocket. Throwing in the night. The night goes into morning. Just another parade. Happy people pass my way. Looking in their eyes, I see a memory. I never realized how happy you made me, oh Brady. Well,
he's rhyming mostly now.
He's not doing the free verse anymore.
No, this is rhyming.
Nitrous, when you're huffing this much nitrous. I mean, you definitely know. He's got a big balloon next to him.
Well, you came and you gave without taking, but we sent you away, oh Brady.
So he just goes, I'm going to lay these lyrics exactly as done on the original.
The same thing happened with the old time rock and roll, unfortunately, if I remember correctly.
Just take those old highlights off the shelf. I'll sit and watch them by myself.
Yeah.
Today's QBs ain't got the same soul. I like that old time TB12.
It's almost like a Mad Lib at that point. He's just throwing in a word here or there.
But that, the Mandy thing, maybe you're not feeling it, just dry. But once you get some Barry Manilow piano in here, how can you not?
I remember all my life. Oh Brady.
So you're just not in love with the new version of Milliken?
Well, no,
You'll
it's
go
just
back to the old version eventually?
I swear to God, every time I'm on public transit and I open Twitter, it's just boom, Milliken's nipples. And I'm like, okay, I need to, turn my brightness down and hide my phone. Thank you.
Who's hitting all these triples for the Red Sox?
Jaron Duran.
Okay. How many triples he got?
10, I think.
Ooh. Is he leading the league in triples? That's got to be De La Cruz, right?
Yeah, well, I think it's better than De La Cruz.
Really? Is he leading the league in triples?
I would guess so.
I didn't know that. Well, look we found something out due to Tyler Milliken's cousin's nipples.
Mm-hmm.
Because Tyler Milliken's cousin's
cousin.
Yeah, he's Tyler Milliken's cousin's cousin. It's not what Tyler Milliken is. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. I can't find the stats for triples.
They don't really
make them that available.
You know what Tyler Milliken is, really?
Nerdy bear. Behind the glasses.
Apparently, Tom Goss has been trying to call us to no avail. He's been trying to call us a lot.
Jaron Duran, 10 triples.
Now, who's number 2?
Bobby Witt Jr.
Oh,
and Anthony
Bobby Witt.
Volpe both have 7.
I have an Anthony Volpe signed jersey.
It's a lot of boobs.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot. That's who would have thought? All right. Kendra's here. She watched everything. She is the Dallas Mavericks, a 1-point favorite, at least coming in this morning, with a lot of big money going towards them. Mike Gorman thinks it's oil money. He's not kidding. He thinks that it's the oil money coming.
You gonna talk a little gambling with Kendra? How about a little Celtics, Mavs, and this much U.S. Open gambling?
Oh,
I've also got hockey.
That much.
You bet hockey.
Oh yeah.
Do you know who Kachuk went to high school with?
Who?
Jason Tatum.
Oh, I feel like I did hear that, but I didn't remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they were friends.
You heard it right
They
here.
were friends in high school.
You heard it right here.
Good job, Fred.
Little fact. Don't worry about me. 2 St. Louis kids doing good for themselves.
I can't. I'm getting some. No, we're not doing it again.
No, well, he's doing the thing, so I was.
So we're not doing. Okay. Now we're done.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Very good. We'll be back with all of that in just a moment.
You're listening to
I like when I'm making Hardy laugh really loud and Kendra is completely oblivious.
I think everybody would appreciate that, but growing up around a lot of Greek food establishments, which we had a lot of in Raleigh too, so maybe it would translate.
Is there a big Greek population in Detroit?
Oh, it's huge.
Really?
Yeah, Greek town. Well, there's a part of the city called Greek Town, which was for a long time entirely Greek-owned businesses. It's still majority.
And pretty much, all the Coney Islands when we were growing up, those were all Greek-owned.
Well, Leo's Coney Island is Jerry Stasinopoulos, one of my really good friends' dad, who is the one who had Little Lady. He had a cat.
I've heard this story.
Little Lady. Wow. Look at the little lady. Have some food. And then he put out like a strip steak and just throw it in a bowl. And the cat would go, ah. And he go, good little lady. And he go, ah. And we go, oh, Jerry, your dad's dying. And we go downstairs. He goes, I watch you Three Stooges.
Your kids are too loud. Go play down the block.
Fast Daddy, I let you run the Halstead store. Fast Daddy, you run the Halstead store. You betrayed me. The Halstead store, where's all the money? The receipts don't match Fast Eddie. Fast Eddie ran the Halstead store.
Artie's crying.
You didn't grow up there.
Because it sounds like every other parent.
Jerry, put on your helmet, Jerry. Jerry, I came to the game. Jerry, I took off work to come to the game. Jerry, put on your helmet. Put in Jerry. Coach, put in Jerry. Put him in the game. I took off work. All right, very good. My wife, she went through on the highway. We have to take back roads to the airport. Very good. All right, Kendra Middleton. Here we are. The U.S. Open is going on. Everyone's very excited.
There we go. People were like talking about Tiger Woods as a good bet to make the cut. I'm like, I ain't touching no Tiger Woods bet. He's 1 under. He's playing okay. I mean, that's obviously early on in the round. The Tiger Woods betting, that's for squares, isn't it?
I agree, but we went over this last time. I do feel if you're someone who bets that, it's a safe bet to make.
Okay.
Just because the way that his career has gone and the injuries and everything like that, there's always the question of if he'll make the cut, but he always seems to.
All right, John Rahm dropping out due to he's got that nasty foot infection. He's got a leaky, smelly foot, so he couldn't play. Did that affect any lines anywhere?
I don't think so. Not really. I mean, I hate to say it, but Scotty Scheffler's plus money, so that's where I'm cashing in.
Okay, so Scotty Scheffler, he was at plus 290. He was
plus 280 this morning, as of right now.
So he is, Fred, the first golfer to have less than 3-1 odds to win a major championship since
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods, I believe, in 08 it was probably 08.
I heard a guy on the radio from the golf analyst, and he was talking about how the U.S. Open is in danger of becoming just like the PGA Tour Championship. It was going to be a distant third behind the Masters in the British, or as he called it, the Open.
Mm-hmm. What?
Yes.
That the U.S. Open is in danger of becoming that?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
He said that it plays too easy and that it's becoming just another tournament. He said it's like just any other tour tournament because it's too easy. He said that they had to make it much harder. He said they deliberately make the PGA too easy. He was on Mad Dog.
Well, the PGA Championship is... Yeah, that is the fourth
Kendra,
major.
you said that, right?
Without question.
No, but you said that it was going to play easy, right?
Yes.
And she was absolutely right. 20 under par was her prediction, and she was 100% right. But, I mean, the U.S. Open, they said the same thing when it was at Brookline. When it was at the Country Club, they said those guys are going to tear that course up, and it'll never come back there because the USGA doesn't want that. And what do you know? The winning score was 6 under par when the U.S. Open was at the Country Club a couple of years ago. And everyone said, oh, they can make these courses pretty much as hard as they want with what they do outside of the fairways, how narrow the fairways are, and how much they trick up the greens.
Kendra, did you see what he's wearing today?
I did see it.
He's doubling up.
He really is.
He's got a 3/4 zip on that is what, Hardy?
Oh, well, this is the Pinehurst logo there.
I don't think I've ever come in here and Hardy has not been in Gulf War.
He's become a Midwestern dad. It is exciting to see.
Well,
He's
he
my
kind of
friend's
is.
parents. He's a Midwestern dad.
You just need the accent now, Hardy.
Yeah, I worked hard to lose that Michigan accent. When I moved to New Mexico, people made fun of me for my Michigan accent, so I worked hard to lose it.
Who are your long shots this weekend, Hardy?
I don't have one. I made 2 bets following your lead from your predictions going back to the PGA Championship. I actually put some money because I like the odds on Bryson DeChambeau.
Okay.
Because I got good odds on him. And I think you and I talked about Colin Morikawa.
Yeah, I have a Morikawa ticket to do. Yeah, I do.
So that's it. I only got 2.
Yep.
And normally I have like 8, 10 golfers, and I double up on a lot of them. I backed off this time because I'm planning on cashing my Jaylen Brown MVP.
I gave that out on the show.
Yeah, well, you and I both had it, and that one I figured let's not just piss all that money away immediately.
Definitely.
Let's hold on to some of it. So
I did the old 60-40. I went with 60% on Scottie Scheffler being plus money because I just think that he's the best golfer in the world. I wanted to maybe put some money on Schauffele, but I don't think that there's any way that he wins 2 majors back-to-back. But I went with Morikawa, and then my real kind of quote-unquote long shot, I took Tommy Fleetwood. I don't think that this course is as gettable, obviously, as the last major, but I don't know. I'm just sticking with vibes. Morikawa did me good. He served me good, so I'm going to rock with him. I think that he's one of the few people who has a shot at getting Scotty. Do I think anybody's going to get Scotty? No, but I took 60. I put 60% of my money on Scotty and split the 20 between the other 2. So.
Okay. Yeah, Fleetwood could groove, man. You get them on that rumors. Woof. That was good stuff. Kendra, you said you have a golf bet?
I have, I've got
Not
basketball.
golf.
I got
No,
Celtics.
you have I'm sorry, you said you had a hockey bet, an NHL bet. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we can get into basketball. I do want to give out that I'm going to play the under on the Panthers and Edmonton game tonight at under 5.5 minus 115. Just because we're getting to the point in the postseason where I think that this is becoming a trend outside of that one overtime game, but everybody is so hurt and Bobrovsky is playing out of his mind. So when you have a good goaltender, everybody's hurt. I think that that's just kind of the lean. So I'm going to rock with that. I think that could be a decent payout tonight. The Panthers are not favored in this game. I get that Edmonton is at home, but it just the injuries for me are becoming quite the question mark, and it's really showing that Edmonton just has no depth. It's really their third period has been atrocious because of the lack of depth. So I'm gonna rock with the under in that game, and then we can talk about Celtics if you guys want. I know that was a big.
So real quickly because we're running out of time, but Dallas is a 1-point favorite in Game 4 of what they were coming in.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to look more towards some like player props for this game, more probably some like rebounding stuff with Jason Tatum or something like that. Just because it's very clear to me that Luka Doncic is not 100%. If he wants to, even play close to that, he's going to have to eat a Tortadall sandwich. And outside of that, my big fear as far as putting money on a spread or a money line is it's hard for me to get to the window on any sort of finals being a sweep. Like that is the hardest part for me is because one, that's bad for the NBA. It's bad for basketball. It's bad for fandom. They're not going to make as much money, obviously. So I just
you're saying the league would step in and prevent it from happening?
She's been around
you guys know that I'm a conspiracy theorist. I have been just because I don't think that it's good for the NBA if this is a sweep. Do I think that the Celtics are going to raise banner 18? Absolutely, yes, I do. But it's hard for me to get to a window on, it being a sweep in the finals.
Okay, so you think there might be a wrangle situation?
Maybe. I mean, like I said, Doncic is going to be eating Tortadall sandwiches all weekend, so we'll see.
Tortadall's no fun. All right, it doesn't do anything. It's just strong Tylenol. All right, Kendra Middleton, where can we find you, Kendra? You're always out working. 100 hours Kendra worked last week. She's going to Croatia. She's got a big trip to Croatia planned. It's the new Italy, she said. Go ahead.
You have to do some research on Croatia because you looked at me sideways when I said that was a top travel destination for me.
No, we're not going.
Me and Hardy are going to go golf Wolf Creek, okay? That's going to be my next vacation.
Kendra has got spun Hardy around her finger. She works
I didn't know she did social media for a company that owns golf courses out in Vegas.
He loves talking about golf courses in Vegas. I've heard him talk about golf courses in Vegas almost in every social conversation we've ever been in with people.
You can follow
I'm not joking. That's absolutely true. And as soon as someone said Vegas, he's like, "Oh, I live there. Where do you like playing?"
I can't believe Twitter got rid of being able to see people's likes yesterday. I'm kind of angry.
Why?
Because I like to look at what all the crazy old men that say stuff to me on the internet like, and because it's never anything. It's always saucy.
All right, so when you do a new video of people that like that, where can they see it?
You can follow me on Twitter at Kenny with an I Middleton and at Kendra Middleton everywhere else. I have a food video coming out today or tomorrow, and then I'll have a DM video this weekend.
A DM video this weekend?
Yep.
That's if you subscribe.
No.
What's a DM? Oh, the DMs that are sent to you. All right.
Yep.
And she will be on the Over Under 98.5 show Saturday morning.
Will do.
And
maybe we'll be talking about Banner 18. Who's to say?
All right, there you have it. We'll talk a little bit.
Morikawa throwing a dart there on hole number 7.
Oh boy,
about to move into a tie for the lead.
Hardy's off tomorrow. He's already.
I know. We've already lost him. He's gone.
All right,
I'm still here.
Let's play what Windhorse had to say about Luka. Kendra speculated he's hurt. I don't doubt he is, but doesn't change who he is.
Okay.
We will have that coming up here. The headlines. So much this show, but I do want to play something that is not ours. It is Brian Windhorst. This went viral, and good for Windhorst. Usually we are, or at least certainly me, are teasing him because he was LeBron's caddy. I do believe his voice is dropping a little bit too now. I think
he sounds more relaxed in his own skin now that the LeBron thing has been taken away from him.
How dare you? His skin is very relaxed.
Right.
It's becoming almost saggy. Here is Brian Windhorst talking about Luka Doncic, who, of course, fouled out with 4 and change left in the game last night. Windhorst not holding back.
Luka fouls out late. I just wonder your reaction to that whole sequence.
I thought it was perfect that Luka fell onto the ground there in an unacceptable position to put himself in with 4 minutes left with 5 fouls, and then immediately looks at the bench and says, "You better bleeping challenge it," as if it's the bench's fault that he just made a terrible play. I'm standing here in the Mavericks tunnel. Over there is the Celtics tunnel. That's where the winners are. If Luka's ever going to be a winner coming out of this tunnel here, he is going to have to use what's happened in this finals as a learning experience. His defensive performance is unacceptable. He is a hole on the court. The Celtics are attacking him. They are ahead in this series because they have attacked him defensively. And you've got a situation here where Luka is complaining about the officiating. They have begged him. They have talked with him. They have pleaded with him. He is costing his team because of how he treats the officials. He's a brilliant player. He does so many things well. They are here because of how he did. His performance in this game is unacceptable and the reason why the Mavericks are not going to win. He's got to get over this. And the fact that he came out after the game and blamed the officials showed me he's nowhere close yet. So maybe over the summer somebody will get to him because nobody with the Mavericks or anybody else in his life has. And that's where the Mavericks are at this point. They're never going to get to this tunnel with the trophy if he doesn't improve those aspects of his game.
Brian Windhorst, I'll leave it right there. I appreciate your time, and hopefully we'll talk again this series. You think we get to a Game 5 Monday or no?
I'm very interested to see what Luka does on Friday. The 18th banner is coming to Boston. The duck boats are getting loaded up at some point. I want to see how Luka reacts because he owes his team a better performance in Game 4.
It is true, and it's hard to imagine when Luka's that responsible for the success of the team, also blaming him. But if you're going to be a superstar, it would be nice if you could play, if you could run. And again, I challenged Jason Kidd's coaching last night because even I, from my couch, could see that Tim Hardaway Jr. was a liability on both ends of the court, and that, in credit to Missoula and the Celtics as a team, forcing the ball when Dallas had the ball, forcing it into just making it go into Tim Hardaway Jr.'s hands, and then attacking him on defense. By the way, guys, Tim Hardaway Jr. a minus 16 last night.
Yeah,
he played 19 minutes. The Celtics were like, "Thank you, God." I know why Kidd put Hardaway Jr. in is to see if he got hot, but
he's grasping at straws. This is what he's stuck with because his star player doesn't play defense. Celtics have guys that aren't necessarily good defensively, but at least they give an effort. We were talking about this earlier. Hauser and Pritchard, if they did not try, would be liabilities out there. But damn it, they fight you. Luka doesn't try. I don't know how much he's hurt, but he's able to run up and down the floor.
He's able to shoot.
Score.
Yeah.
He's able to bump people off and score. His offense hasn't been isn't hurt at all.
Yeah, he's able to shoot 30-foot threes. The guy, if he's unhealthy, he's choosing when to be unhealthy.
That's exactly correct. And that's another reason why if you're a Dallas Mavericks fan, you should be tearing your hair out. I don't know how many of those there are out there, but seriously, what a tease that guy is. If he just gave an effort on the defensive end, just try, he would be such a better player than he is now, and he's already fantastic.
Well, he's just such an interesting guy because when he's handling the ball full court and Jaylen Brown's on him, Missoula's told Brown, just go for steals. He's actively – how often do you see that, by the way, in the NBA? In the second quarter, someone actively playing one-on-one on the guy taking the ball up the court.
Never.
Trying to make steals.
Never.
It's like college.
No, it's like high school. Yeah. What it reminds me of, my son plays high school basketball. Humble brag. But it's like if a team is – there's some kids that were on my son's team that are incredible athletes, and they'd be playing some crappy team, and the kids at any point could block any shot or steal the ball. Yeah. It's one of those. It's like when we played that Super Friends with Weber and Rose when I was a kid, and we couldn't get the ball over half court. That's what it looks like. Jaylen Brown is such a superior athlete. It's sad. Luka has a hard time He's huffing and puffing and having to protect the ball and using his arm. It's ridiculous. Jalen's stolen the ball from him.
Yep.
Just
Twice
off the dribble.
Early in the series, yep.
It's ridiculous. And so they did go to Irving a little bit more, taking the ball up the court yesterday, which I don't understand why they don't do that more often. But then again,
they're going to have to. I mean, if he is as immobile as he is playing up to be, tomorrow night, Kyrie should take the ball up. Just park him on the offensive end. That's all he cares about anyway.
Yeah, and I'm sitting Doncic for more. I mean, I'm not playing Doncic 40 minutes. I'm sitting him for fits and starts.
Yeah, give him 3 minutes at the end of the first. You know, give him the first 2 or 3 at the start of the second. You know, a more normal rotation for a guy that you need late, because whether it's foul trouble or he's just gassed.
I think they go hand in hand, because a lot of those fouls. I mean, those were his sixth foul was a garbage foul. Like, I mean, he didn't have to do that.
Nope.
It's just a guy getting past him because he doesn't move, and then him reaching out and grabbing. That was his first foul, too.
There was another one where he chased, I think it was Jaylen Brown.
It was Jaylen Brown
middle
first.
of the floor, 35 feet from the basket.
Yes.
You saw him deliberately foul him.
Yes.
And he deliberately fouled him because he needed a rest. He
Yes.
needed a breather. He needed to stand still for 5 seconds.
And that might have been his first foul. I think that was his first foul, and he needed a breather at that point. I mean, it's ridiculous.
He's one of the best players on the planet. And this is where we are with him.
We have so many things to get to here in the last 4 minutes. A couple of emails. Number one, Chris said in his subject line, "Oh, guys, you guys really need to learn about guns. Fred seems to think a semi-automatic is an automatic.
You fool.
50 caliber isn't on ships, Hardy. It's the caliber used in sniper rifles."
Uh-huh.
So, sorry, Chris. You're right. You're talking to a couple of guys that don't know a lot about guns. That's number one.
Wait a second. He doesn't think I know about guns? Hey, I know a lot about guns.
Hey.
Conspiracy from Mitch.
Major guns.
Fred didn't receive any call. He made up the whole thing about urinating on himself. He's at the age where men start losing control of their bladder. Hardy, check his phone to see if there were any incoming calls at that time.
Yes, indeed.
So we're talking about 40 minutes ago or so?
No.
Oh, no, that's okay. I just saw the time there. Yeah, it's about right.
Oh, I'm not making it up. I would tell you if I had a leak.
All right.
I just had to tell you before you savages started attacking me. You know how hard he is. He can be very cruel.
If you don't have any emails you want to get to, I want to play one quick game with you guys.
I would love it. We've had so much today. It's been very exciting. Go ahead.
But there was a fire in Dublin at a hotel.
Okay.
Do you know what this is?
No.
Okay, good. Fire in Dublin in a hotel. People come out of the hotel. The news shows up, and they interview somebody on the street. Tell me if you know who this person is.
When I heard the fire alarm, I thought it was the clock radio. I thought somebody had set the alarm before we got there, and like another guest.
I do.
And
who is it?
Hold on. We're gonna. Okay, so you know. Don't say it yet.
Finally, I went into another room and it was still buzzing. So I called downstairs and the woman said in a very calm voice, "Yes, we're all evacuating. You must evacuate right now."
Do you know, John? Because I can help.
Okay,
I don't.
So you want me to start giving hints?
No, I'm going to do one.
Okay.
Of course, this guy played a big, tough Italian. You can tell by his voice, but he did. He played
Harvey Firestein.
Oh, God, yes. Hey.
Beetle, you know it yet?
Go sit on it.
Okay. If there's 22 more seconds. Again.
Okay.
Fire in Dublin.
All
News is there. They're interviewing what they think are just random hotel guests.
And
this
I will
guy
also
comes
say
out.
this. Of course I know who this is.
Okay.
And I left.
I saw you thanking on the Dublin Fire Brigade there.
You know what? How wonderful. Firemen are some of my favorite human beings.
They're some of the greatest. I love them in uniform.
70s television megastar.
Eric Estrada.
No, well, good guess, but he played a big, like a tough Italian guy. Italian, there's no doubt about it. Name ended with a vowel.
Firemen and firewomen.
Is this the big ragu?
That's an excellent guess because that is indeed Italian-American on 70s television.
Big television star.
Maybe the biggest
They
television
run
star.
in when other people are running out.
Bertrand still doesn't know. John knows.
I saw a picture of
recognize
this.
his
Yes,
voice
I saw
at
a
all.
picture of this. I do know who this is.
70s, maybe the biggest star in television in the 70s, early 80s. Italian character, a street tough.
Oh, from oh God,
From Happy Days.
Yes.
Hey,
Winkler.
Hey,
it's enough. All right. Okay.
That doesn't sound like him, though.
Hey, it's enough. Okay.
It sounds more like him in Night Shift than it does how he sounded in Happy Days.
In the Night Shift with the young Michael Keaton, who was on a show with David Letterman called Carol. The Carol Burnett variety show.
Yes.
Featuring Michael Keaton and David Letterman. Was on for 3 episodes.
Which they will sell you in an infomercial at all hours of the night.
It comes on my algorithm like you wouldn't believe. All right. Hey, Hardy, Lockhart, and Gemelli, kudos to you, gentlemen. Hours and hours and hours of audio gotten and edited. I do appreciate it. I know how tough it is. All I have to do is come in here and react to it. Thank you to Adolfo Gonzalez for coming on and helping out this morning. We look forward to hearing more from him. He is going to be doing stuff. You can listen to all that on the podcast. Mark Bertrand, what do you guys got going today? We got big star Scotty Z here.
Yeah, Scotty Z with the big fist bump last night for Brady going on the stage. Yeah.
An insider's look.
Yeah, he
Scotty
was
Z there last
Love
night.
that. And Celtics.
All right, that'll do it for us. Everyone, enjoy yourselves. Hardy's gone tomorrow, so you have that going for you. All right.
Trip.
That'll do it for us.
We'll trip back to Michigan.